in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? Happy Black Friday! And you know what that means. It's time to reach inside the Raider archives and dig out another classic. And tonight, we got a real special one. It's one of those games of it's just like watching a little bit of history. I think you're gonna like it. Now bear with me. The beginning, it's got a little bit of warble in the first couple minutes, but before the game even starts, it completely clears up. Before a special little treat, before the game starts, it even clears up. No, I can't hold a tune. I can't carry it in a bucket, Bob. But here we go. I'm sure you recognize the music, right? The vintage Monday Night Football music. So what we have here is the Monday Night Football crew on the first ever Saturday Night Football broadcast. And not only that, two historic teams. $1974.
NFL Monday Night Football Series concludes the 1974 season in Oakland, California on the final Saturday of the regular season. It's the Oakland Raiders with the best record in the NFL and the champions of the AFC's Western Division.
Guys said bear with the tracking there at the beginning.
Cowboys, winners of 7 of their last 8 games. At ABC,
it clears up here in just a minute, and then it's fine the rest of the way.
See all our new 75s and test any car against our cars at the sign of the cat.
We've got a sold-out house here at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, notwithstanding damp, penetrating, misty weather conditions.
It's Raider Nation.
Everyone, I'm Howard Cosell. Welcome to our first adventure into Saturday Night Football right here on ABC. And we hope to have a good game tonight. We admit that one team, the Dallas Cowboys, is looking forward to next season. The other team, the Oakland Raiders, is looking forward to next Saturday in a playoff game against the Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins. Nonetheless, as Frank Gifford suggested, the Cowboys are the hottest team in football. They are, in fact, a team of pride, and that's not just words. And so is their coach, Tom Landry. The Raiders, with the best record in the National Football League, want to awaken themselves from a lethargy that has beset them in recent games or ever since they clinched their divisional title. Quickly, let's look at the coaches.
Like I said, bear with the tracking. It clears up before the game even starts, but I want you to be able to hear this audio.
His name never appears in the headlines, or almost never, but this is a man who has molded this team. Nobody else but John Madden. And, of course, Tom Landry, the great veteran coach. For the first time in 9 seasons, he'll be out of the playoffs, but he wants to end this season a winner, making it 8 of 9 and leaving people to conjecture with the notion that perhaps the Cowboys should have been in the playoffs. Now, to get to specifics, let's bring in the blithe spirit, Alex Garris. And, Alex, where did you get that jacket?
Well, it's a foggy night in Oakland town.
I wish you could sing. I really do. Well, all right, Alex, let's get to the specifics. What do you think? Think we're going to have a good game tonight?
Well, we should see a good game tonight. You know, Dallas is not going to be in the playoffs, but they're a good ball club, a proud ball club, and they have some young ball players that want to prove themselves to their coaches. And as far as Oakland is concerned, they can't take a duffer tonight. There's no question about it in my mind, because they have to gather a little momentum to play Miami. It's a tough ball club. They play them right here, and they want to gather a little momentum, and they want to stay with what they consider staying straight for this game that's coming up. It's a big game for them, so I don't think you're going to see either team taking a duffer tonight.
Of course, tonight you'll be watching your favorite ball player of all time.
Oh, I love that guy. We're going to talk a little bit about him later on the show.
Number 60, Otis Sistrunk. That's the guy. Let's turn to the offenses, and let's bring in the Giffer. Frank?
Thank you, Howard. And Alex, just let me say quickly how much I've enjoyed this year. And you think I wear cheap clothes, Alex?
Collar.
Offensively.
That's me.
Offensively,
that's right.
we have the number one offensive team in the National Football Conference, the Dallas Cowboys. They're not in the playoffs, but believe it or not, they have gained more yards than the Oakland Raiders in both running and passing. The Oakland Raiders are the number one offensive team in the American Football Conference. So we'll have a good football game tonight. Two quarterbacks. Roger Staubach provides a lot of action. And, of course, Kenny Staber has thrown 24 touchdown passes. It should be a terrific football game, and even though the Cowboys are out of it, look for them to do a lot of strange things. Oakland could do a lot of strange things because they know that Miami, the team that they will meet next Saturday right in this very field,
Bear with it. It comes out of here in just a second.
With the kickoff from Oakland,
And then it's clear the rest of the way.
Right after this.
But the audio is too good to miss it.
Once again, this winter is special on ABC Sports. January 5th marks the season premiere of ABC's Sunday Wide World of Sports, when you'll see Muhammad Ali's stunning upset of heavyweight champion George Foreman.
Can you see
The national anthem from Oakland says sung by Marvin Gaye.
what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight of the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flame, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? On the land of the free, the
Now, that ain't just a little cool nugget.
Singer Marvin Gaye gets the festivities underway from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum as the Oakland Raiders, with the best record in pro football, 11-2. There they are with Coach John Matt, take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, an 8-5 record, which belies really their strength power. They are a dynamite, explosive ball club.
They are, the Raiders are, but I said something at the very top of the program, Frank, and I said it because Cliff Harris, 43 of the Cowboys, came over to me, and he said, don't you think we should be in the playoffs? I said, you would have been, Cliff, if you had won enough games. He said, we're going to go out, winning 8 of our last 9. We want everybody in the country to know that the Cowboys should have been in the playoffs.
Okay, this is George Takomenko, a first-year man out of Syracuse. He'll set it up. George Blanda, the regular placement kicker. for the Oakland Raiders at 46 years old, gets a breather. You're looking at number 37, going deep, Dennis Morgan, a dangerous kickoff return man. He is back there with number 30, Charlie Young. The Oakland Raiders, who will play the Miami Dolphins right on this field next week in a divisional playoff in the American Football Conference, get things underway. A spinning kick taken at the 7-yard line by Dennis Morgan. And Morgan, up-handed hard, crawls forward to the 32-yard line, a return of 24 yards. Opening on offense for the Dallas Cowboys, Roger Staubach will be at quarterback. He's number 12. He teams there with Walt Garrison, number 32, and Calvin Hill, number 35. The wide receivers are 88, Drew Pearson, in a battle for the NFL lead in receptions. He has 58 coming into tonight. Golden Richards is the other wide receiver, and Billy Joe Dupree, the second-year man for Michigan State, is the tight end, number 89. First and 10 for the Cowboys from their own 32. Getting the call is Garrison, and Garrison battles up to the 35-yard line, and this is what has characterized this man for
Man, I love these old games.
The offensive line with which Garrison and Calvin Hill and the other Cowboy backs will work behind is a veteran one. Ralph Neely on the left side, 73. John Nyland, one guard, 76. At the center, 62. John Fitzgerald playing 9. Right guard, 61. A great one at the right tackle, Rayfield Wright, number 70. It's second down and 7. Out quickly it goes to Charlie Young as he replaces Garrison. And he gets the first down. He's out to the 46-yard line, hit there by Jack Tatum. Tatum playing in his first game over the past 3 weeks, and he'll be playing behind this defensive front 4. At the left end, Bubba Smith, 77. Otis Smith, this front, at the left tackle, number 60. Alex Harris's favorite defensive lineman.
Don't you ever mispronounce his name again, Frank.
Right tackle, Horace Jones at defensive right end. The linebackers, as you see them, a veteran in the middle, Dan Connors, 55. On the outside, 41, Phil Villapiano, 86, Bill Irons, the other linebacker for Oakland. First and 10, the ball just short of the 45, and we're just underway from Oakland, California. Garrison back into the lineup. Gets the play action fake, and it goes out quickly to Garrison, and he has running room down the sideline. Garrison all the way down to the 25-yard line, and Roger Staubach hit that ball well to Garrison. Found him in the flat, and the Cowboys are threatening a 30-yard pickup. You'll see a lot of alternating players tonight. The Cowboys using a lot of their backs.
Happy Black Friday, Raider Nation, on a Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day to all you other fathers out there.
Thomas at one cornerback. He's number 26.
Every Friday on Raider Reaction is Black Friday, as we dust off another classic from the Raider archives. Tonight, the first edition of Saturday Night Football, as it's the last game of this regular season. Cowboys at Raiders, 1974.
Great offensive team, but they are weak against the run. They are ninth in their conference, and the Cowboys are, of course, are first in rushing. And what is concerning Oakland fans, Al Davis, when we talked to him last night, was that the Cowboys would be able to keep the ball all night.
That's exactly true, and of course they are naturally looking forward to next week, and they know they've got the problem of Big Zonk, the problem of Mercury Morris, and the problem of Jimmy Kick. Meanwhile, as I said, the Cowboys want to prove something.
From the Raiders, 17. Second down and 2. Again, the play fake by Staubach. And again, going to Garrison. Garrison throws the ball into the end zone. Pearson, good way to get it. Drew Pearson was ready on the spot as he has been all year. Cowboys marching right downfield. You saw Garrison fumble into the end zone. Drew Pearson was having a great year, and this is second year out of Tulsa. 58 receptions, but he was there to fall on it.
In fact, they went 67 yards in 5 plays, consuming 3 minutes and 7 seconds. They look back upon their season, the Cowboys do, and they remember certain games and certain key plays, and they think of what might have been.
Efrain Herrera from UCLA, the rookie converts for Dallas. And the Dallas Cowboys have struck suddenly. They lead the Oakland Raiders 7-0. Mixing the pass, the play-action pass with the running plays. Cowboys march right down the field.
Well, you know, the Cowboys are certainly loose tonight. They're not going to go anywhere the rest of the season, but they're going out there. They want to show the Raiders are a good ball club. And sometimes, you know, Howard, when you're out of it, and I should know because I was out of it lots of times with the Lions, you go out there and you have a lot of fun, and oddly enough, you play real good football.
Take a look at it again if we can. There's Staubach. He's made a great play fake to this man, Garrison. He found the open spot, and they used this play twice. A moment ago, they went 30 yards on the other side, so they found something definitely in the Oakland defense that they are not covering this man. Pearson here is being picked up by Skip Thomas. You see that typical man-for-man coverage for Oakland. Eyes on the receiver. There's a fumble. Pearson in the end zone. Cowboys ahead 7-0. All right. Fred Herrera has the ball set up. Deep is Ron Smith. He's the all-time NFL leader for yardage on returns. He's number 27. Harold Hart is back there. He's number 34. Bottling kick taken down there by... Well, let's identify our receiver as we unpile. Banaszak. Pete Banaszak was there. A 14-yard return.
Well, let's see now if Oakland can strike back quickly. They're at a time of the season like this, when the Cowboys are out of it. There are individual battles going on down in that field and individual things to prove. Gene Upshaw, the great offensive pulling god, 63, wants to prove something tonight. We'll develop that.
On the 32-yard line, the Oakland Raiders move over to the left side, and Marv Hubbard is the man who's carrying it. Offensive line, a veteran one for the Oakland Raiders. Art Shell on the left side. Gene Upshaw, 63. And playing in his 210th consecutive game, starting his 205th game, Jim Otto at center. George Beeler at right guard. Henry Lawrence, the rookie from Florida A&M, is the right tackle. Second down and 8, the ball resting just short of the 35-yard line. Hubbard again, pounding the right side, and running into all kinds of problems over there. Bounces off several defensive Cowboys, and Pat Kume finally is there to make the stop. There they are, the front four for the Cowboys that will alternate tonight, but beginning the action will be Larry Cole, 63, Jethro Pooh, 75, Bill Gregory and Bob Lilly will alternate at the right tackle, as you see Lilly was the starter, and Pat Kume as the defensive right end. And into the lineup now comes Bill Gregory, number 77, and Ed Jutall Jones, number 72, along with 79, Harvey Martin. They'll be shuttling all night, and Ed Jones and Martin come in on the passing situation as quick as what we have at 3rd and 6. Stabler goes to Cliff Branch, and Branch makes his 58th reception of the year. He's tied to the Cowboys' Drew Pearson. And a first down for Oakland at the 43-yard line.
And Mel Renfro, the veteran, whom some feel has gone downhill rather radically, was playing way off Cliff Branch, as you saw on the play. There's Cliff, brilliant receiver out of Colorado. In the meantime, I mentioned Gene Upshaw. He's burned up. He came over and told me I meant what I said in that UPI story, only they didn't say it strong enough. I blame the Jews, O.J. Simpson, for making McKenzie all-conference over me, and I'm going to show them.
On 1st and 10, the Cowboys 44. Stabler to the air again. Cannot find a receiver. Now he ducks it short to Branch, and Renfro again giving him plenty of room, and in defense of Mel Renfro, he's been playing on an injured ankle. He was out for several weeks, came back last week against Cleveland. He had to because the Cowboys only have 5 defensive backs. There he is.
And we just showed you a picture, Frank, of Art Toms on the sidelines. He wasn't wearing a girdle. That wasn't a girdle he had on. He had some bad ribs, and they were protecting his ribs. For you girls out there, I thought maybe you didn't know that.
All right, second down and 10. The ball to 44. There he is. Kenny Stabler having it tremendous here. 24 touchdown passes. Hands off to Clarence Davis. Davis pecks away for a yard or two on the left side. Stabler will find himself in a passing situation. That was Marv Hubbard, brother, number 44. Marv Hubbard also having another fine year. 838 yards coming into tonight. Over the past 2 years, each of the previous 2 years, he's gone over 1,000 yards. side. Hubbard comes to the bench. And Pete Banaszak is in there along with Clarence Davis in the passing situation on a 3rd down and 8. Stabler with lots of time. Biletnikoff wide open. Biletnikoff works himself into the zone, down the open area, and Stabler really drilled it.
All right, we'll have another look at this. And this is a virtual replay of a scene you've seen so many times throughout the season. Clutch situation. Somehow, that great veteran from Florida State is always loose. There you saw him avoid a chuck, and the first defender went down. And Stabler threading the needle with the pass. Stabler, his release is so easy, Alex.
He sure is. He's a fine ball player. And, of course, he goes to Biletnikoff in those crucial situations.
We told you they were two offensively minded teams, and that's exactly what they are. The Cowboys leading 7-0 on their first drive. And getting the call around the left side, Clarence Davis. Hit there by Jethro Pugh.
I must say, Alex, the Cowboys are stopping the run. There he is.
And he found out you mispronounced his name, too, Frank. He's very hot about it. Very hot.
Incidentally, we've all been invited to his fraternity reunion on the planet of Mars at the university campus up there. Let's watch number 63, Gene Upshaw.
Whoa.
He gave him a good belt, I'll tell you.
2nd down and 11, a loss of 1. Davis gets the draw call. Finds a little hole, gets 3 yards. Perhaps it'll be 3rd down, the passing situation again for Stabler. 3rd down and 8. The ball at the just short of the 17-yard line as John Madden looks on. 5 divisional titles in his 6 years as head coach.
Not too bad, Gib.
Indeed.
The night of our first game this year, Oakland at Buffalo. I remember Ruben Arledge saying to him, boy, we've got some matchup for our final game. Significant game in the standings. And Madden said, by the time we play Dallas, it won't matter in the standings.
Stabler has converted on the 2 previous 3rd down attempts. He goes to the air again. And again, forced out of the pocket, goes for Branch. He comes back for it. He will be short of the 1st down. He had to come back. And it'll be 4th down, and the ancient one will trot onto the field. Of course, to refer to the venerable old 46-year-old George Bland in his 25th year, and still an excellent athlete.
46 years old. Isn't that something?
I know what he thinks of Ben Check.
He likes it. Remember we did that opening game interview with him? He really does.
All right, the attempt from 31 yards. Just routine for George Blanda. So the Raiders trail the Dallas Cowboys 7-3, and we'll be back after this.
This Monday night, ABC brings you top postseason college football bowl action. The Liberty Bowl from Memphis, Tennessee. The Maryland Terrapins, featuring Outland Trophy winner Randy White, the outstanding lineman of the country, meets the Volunteers of Tennessee, led by quarterback Condrich Holloway. Maryland, Tennessee, Monday night in the Liberty Bowl at 9 Eastern Time over most of these ABC stations.
7:19 remaining in the first quarter. The Raiders have shortened their score to the Dallas Cowboys to 7-3. Jack DeVinto kicks off, and it's Dennis Morgan. Morgan finds a little hole to the outside, quickly covered there by Raiders. Moving out to the 38-yard line. Missed by Monty Johnson. 31-yard return for Dennis Morgan, rookie from Western Illinois.
And a good rookie who's broken a number this year in his kick runs. Hey, there's Jim Garner, Alex, together with the ancient one, as Frank called him, George Blanda. That's right. Say hello to his fellas. Hello, Jimmy. Star of his own series, The Rockford Files, remembered forevermore in television as Maverick. Good guy.
Good looking devil.
Dallas in the final game of the season will begin their drive at the 37-yard line. Calvin Hill crawls forward, and Calvin Hill sometimes looks like he's gaining a yard or two, but by the time he completes the ball, he usually tacks on a couple more, and this time he gets 7. The second down, a long 3. The ball just short of the 44.
Number 35, out of Yale University. And what a player he's been. He's gained over 800 yards this year, despite the fact that he's missed 4.5 games. That takes some doing.
On the second down, Bill Houston comes in, number 86. He's in the stacked backfield. This is Houston, the rookie from Jackson State. Toss goes out to Robert Newhouse. And Newhouse gets a couple of yards, short of the first down, however, hit by Phil Villapiano, number 41.
Bob Hubbard, who Frank has already told you about, with 2 consecutive Bedlam 1,000 years. In terms of yards, not in terms of age. Once played for the Hartford Charteros.
He's really stuck with it, Howard. He was cut right here in Oakland back in '69, went back and played in the minor league, came back and has really turned into one of the great All-Pros.
Well, he reminds me of Jim Taylor the way he runs. You know, he breaks those tackles, gets that 4 and 5 yards.
Strong.
Bigger than Jimmy, though.
On the 3rd and 1. Getting the call is Charlie Young. Big hole, first down. The Cowboys moving.
What's up, Raider Nation? I'm the Commish. Thank you for joining us for another Raider reaction. Black Friday, featuring the Silver and Black Theaters. We dust off another classic from the Raider archives. Here we have the first edition of Saturday Night Football. Last game of the 1974 season as the Cowboys come to Oakland Alameda Coliseum to face the Silver and Black.
By Charlie Young, another Cowboy first down as John Fitzgerald is being sentenced to 2. Tom Landry looking on. And we'll be back in Oakland right after this message.
Get serious.
Now here's a replay of that injury to center John Fitzgerald. He opened the hole for his teammate Charlie Young and paid the price for doing so. Look there. Kicked right in the head by the left knee of Charlie Young as Charlie proceeded onward for a 12-yard gain.
And so many times that happens, Howard. In fact, I almost ended my career like that. My own ball player knocked my knees off from under me, and that was it. There's a perfect example. Sometimes your own ball players will do it to you.
John Fitzgerald, however, walked off the field under his own power. Hopefully, he'll be able to return, and simply we hope he's all right. Cowboys have a 1st and 10. They're on the 43-yard line. The Oakland Raiders, they lead 7-3. Play action take again by Staubach. Going deep for Richards, and it'll be picked off. As the flag goes down, Atkinson picks it off. Under Nehemiah Wilson picks it off, but the flag is down at the 5-yard line.
This will be called on number 32, Jack Tatum, the strong safety out of Ohio State. No question about it. And if we can get it to replay, you'll see exactly how it happened.
There's the call. Jack Tatum again returning to action after 3 weeks. Has to be a little rusty. He's wearing number 32.
Now it's not here. Did you see Tatum come up behind there?
You saw Richards sprawl forward and given him a pretty good
Tatum had given him the shot.
In any event, the Cowboys have the first recalled on the Oakland Raiders 5-yard line. 4:50 remaining in the first quarter. They lead 7-3.
Apart from that penalty call, and a very damaging one, there's Fitzgerald still seeking to get his wits together after the blow in the head from his teammate Charlie Young. Significantly, Dallas has been able to stop Oakland's ground game thus far. Oakland has not been able to stop Dallas's ground game. As I said, with the exception of that penalty, it's the ground game of Dallas that's dominating.
On the first down, Newhouse crawling forward to about the 2-yard line there.
You know, there's no real reason why Oakland's defensive line isn't that good against the rushing game, because they're a big bunch of guys and they're pretty fast. Although I wouldn't say Tom's is the biggest, but I think that they move good and they have good linebackers. I don't know what the problem is other than the fact that I think some of the teams that play against them like to run it on the ground to keep control so that their offense doesn't get the shot at them every 3 minutes.
Newhouse moves it inside the 2. You see the Raiders in their goal line defense. Staubach bobbled the ball. It's floating around. Jack Tatum, I believe, has it. And Jack Tatum, who was called for that pass interference, turns it around. The ball was bouncing off the shoulders of first the Cowboys and then the Raiders, and Jack Tatum, the ever alert, Tatum was there to pick it up. There it is.
He never got the
lost. And here comes Tatum.
He really made up for it.
Tatum takes it out to the 16-yard line. For the Raiders with a big break. Hubbard, at the very least, a possible field goal. This is Marv Hubbard. And Hubbard, this may be a yard and a half before he's drilled.
Well, an early pattern, it seems to me, is formed here. Naturally, Oakland wants to get its ground game going to complement the pass. In its drive down toward its field goal in 9 plays that took 4 minutes and 34 seconds, they finally had to settle for a field goal because they used 2 rushing plays that went nowhere before going for a 3rd down pass.
This is Clarence Davis. And Davis finds the going just as rough as Hubbard. There's Jack Tatum on the sidelines. Jack Tatum, the Ohio State All-American of 4 years ago.
Well, he's a key figure in their defensive backs, and he's the guy that makes all the tackles for them, and he's been out 3 weeks, and Oliver Spencer, assistant coach over there with the Raiders, says he's very happy to have him back.
3rd down now and 8. Out to the left comes Split Branch. He'll be covered very delicately by Mel Renfro. Out to the right, Blitnikoff. And Stabler is back and in trouble. And Stabler's down. The big rush was on. Jethro Pugh was there, 75. Harvey Martin, 79. He leads the Cowboys in sacks. He got another one. That's his 10th of the year.
That was great, Craig. Stabler's back, in trouble, and Stabler's down. Ali moves quickly from the neutral corner.
That's 4th down. Ray Guy will punt for Oakland. Chief will be Cliff Harris and Dennis Morgan. Morgan, the lone safety. And there is the predicament of Ray Guy, the leading punter in the AFC. Averaging a little over 41 yards. He fouled the ball. He'll go down. Safety. Out of the end zone. Safety. And from here, possible touchdown for Dallas. Cal Peterson, number 58, was the man that stormed in there, but Ray Guy just bobbled that ball. You'll see, he never completely had the ball. He bobbles it there. Here comes Peterson. He's number 58, and if he could have got on that ball, he would have had 6 instead of 2. There it is again. Great guy who's a fine athlete, and he will not often make this kind of mistake. We'll be back in Oakland right after this message. Well, Howard obviously came to the stadium early.
Yeah, we've read that enough times. Incredible the misinformation that can be parceled out. Let's have the kick, Frank, from Mr. Ray Guy.
The man who gave up the 2 points for Oakland. They trailed the Dallas Cowboys 9-3, 2:20 remaining in the first quarter. Deep is Dennis Morgan, number 37. The guy, not a good kick, as Cliff Harris takes in his own 37. And Harris just almost back to midfield. They'll mark it at the 48. A 14-yard return hit there by Mike Dinnery.
Incidentally, a reminder to the viewers that ABC Sports will present a revealing portrait of O.J. Simpson, Juice on the Loose, Saturday, December 28th. The special will go beyond the world of football. It'll give insights into the lifestyle of a man who is complex as he is likable. It's his 5th pro season with the Buffalo Bills, a Heisman Trophy winner at USC. Last season, you all know about the record of over 2,000 yards. Saturday the 28th. Yep.
On 1st and 10, Staubach with both backs out of the backfield, looking for Young, and Young, the rookie from North Carolina State, the Cowboys' 2nd first-round pick this year, does not hold on to the ball, but he has been performing very well for the Cowboys late in the season.
Just to point out what we were saying earlier, in 7 carries on the ground, Dallas has gained 45 yards. I mentioned earlier, Oakland with 7 carries has gained 10 yards. That's been the differential, plus some shabby play by the Raiders, as evidenced by that fumble by Guy in the end zone that led to an unexpected safety for Dallas.
Roger Staubach in his 6th year. On 2nd down and 10, the ball just short of the 48. Pearson in motion. Toss goes out to the big one, Calvin Hill. Big hole, he has another first down, he's down to the 40. 11-yard gain.
here's the play that you just seen, and I'll tell you, they're really blocking real good up front. There's no question about it. And the only thing I can't understand is that Oakland's linebackers, who I think are very good, they just absolutely wiped out right now. And
exactly the point.
They're not playing for that run at all. It seems like they're really backing off the line of scrimmage.
Gerald Irons had to come all the way across to make this play.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if I could point out, too, they are dealing against a team that has made more yards on the ground than any other team in the NFL, so it's not all the defensive play.
It's also a team that lost to the Giants 14-6.
On 1st and 10, Newhouse turns the corner, gets 4 yards.
Did you hear that comment that Howard made?
I get one a week.
No, I said Dallas' season has been most peculiar. We had them the second Monday night game of the year. And last night, Tex Schramm, who runs the Cowboys, was hearkening back to that Philadelphia Monday night game when Doug Dennison, a rookie, number 21, was going in for a Dallas touchdown. Fumbled it. Joe Lavender, the Eagles, number 30, picked it up, ran almost 100 yards for a touchdown. And Philadelphia won that game. TJ to the season pass.
Second down and 6 from the 37, and down goes Young. And getting quickly in there was Gerald Irons. That'll be a loss of a couple of yards.
Here's Gerald Irons, and he does a good job this time. Gerald gets down and analyzes the play pretty good. He's really keen a little bit on this guy, I think. He comes in, does a good job, puts his head right in the hole, knocks him down. He's a pretty good ball player, Howard.
He beat the block of number 51, Dave Manders, to replace John Fitzgerald at center, but we've been told that John Fitzgerald will be back in the ball game, not seriously hurt. All right, it's 3rd down and 9, a loss of 2. Ball resting just over the 40-yard line. Bob Hayes is in there, number 22, along with Golden Richards, number 83, and they will not get the playoff. That's the end of the first quarter with the Dallas Cowboys out in front of the Oakland Raiders, 9-3.
Coming off the bench to throw this touchdown pass and defeat the 49ers in this 72 playoff game was a great moment in my career. But I'd like to introduce you to another great moment. This is Gayla Bond. She has undergone open heart surgery to correct a critical defect. Not every child survives this ordeal. Gayla did. A great moment in her life. There are a lot of great moments in life, and you can share them by supporting your local United Way. The United Way, thanks to you, it's working.
Back in Oakland, California, Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, Alex Karras. The Dallas Cowboys out in front of the Oakland Raiders 9-3 as we begin the second quarter. The ball just inside the 40-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. And Dallas showing a lot of offense in the early going. Draw back. Firing intended for Hayes and almost picked off. Almost picked off by Bill Piano, number 41.
Bill had that play cased absolutely perfectly. I wonder if during the course of this game, Frank will get a chance to see number 19, Clint Longley from Abilene Christian, the man who perpetrated the miracle of Thanksgiving Day when he brought Dallas from a 23-10 deficit to, in the final seconds, a 24-23 victory.
Hopefully, because he really captured the imagination of the country. Right now, we're going to look at Dwayne Carroll. He's had an interesting season. He began with the Jacksonville Sharks. Had a good year. Dallas was in trouble, picked him up, and now he's punting for Dallas. He's angling for the sidelines. Ron Smith. Smith breaks it. Oh, look at it. Ron Smith run down by Charlie Young, and Smith all the way down to the 32-yard line. Ron Smith, the man who holds an NFL record for punt and kickoff returns of over 8,000 yards, does it again. And he's been around 10 years, Howard, but he still has the moves.
And he really used his blockers beautifully on this run. Give Charlie Young credit for that pursuit. In the meantime, Oakland's got field position. First down on the Cowboys 36. Let's see if they're thinking about Miami or if they can get some kind of ground game generated.
53-yard return. Flags fly as Stabler goes out on the flat. Complete out there to his tight end, Bob Moore. The flags are down at the line of scrimmage. they couldn't be blamed with an 11-2 record. Looking forward to their nemesis over the past few years, the Miami Dolphins, and they play here next week. Dolphins, of course, the champions of the Eastern Division of the AFC. I'm sure that Coach Don Shula, who certainly should be congratulated for overcoming a lot of problems with that team this year, along with some great performers who they're watching this evening. Art Shell was a guilty culprit for the Oakland Raiders, being offside, nullifying that game. First down and 15, the ball goes to Marv Hubbard. Hubbard gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Of course, you talked about Al Davis doing things that took a lot of ball players, and especially the kind of situation. Here's Ron Smith, who does nothing but run that ball back now and does a good job.
Second down and 10. Ball just short of the 35-yard line. Litnikoff goes out to the right. Out to the left, the speedster Cliff Pratt. Stabler and number 79, Harvey Martin, gets his 11th sack of the year. And what a combination Harvey Martin, 79, and 72, Ed Too Tall Jones are. They come in on the sure pass, and look at them come.
Here's Harvey Martin coming in on the pass rush. He knows it's the pass. He's playing it all the way for the pass. He's doing a good job pass. There he slips the offensive tackle and gets down to Too Tall's right behind him. Here's big Too Tall doing his job. He's a very strong guy, and he's playing against a strong offensive tackle, and he does a good job. He gets a lot of penetration. That really helps.
Hart beats the block of Lawrence. Jones up, Adam Marcel. Stabler again, going on third down. Intended for Bob Moore. Well covered. Stabler just getting rid of it. Cornell Green was back there.
That's a lovely youngster. As we looked at those replays featuring Martin and Too Tall Jones, I was reminded of our conversation last night, Frank, with Al Davis and Tex Schramm, the respective front office heads of the respective clubs. We're discussing the fact that three brilliant defensive linemen have come into the league this year. Too Tall, one of them, Cutting of Baltimore, another, and Barzalauskas of the Jets, a third. But Schramm truly believes that Jones has a chance to become one of the great defensive linemen of all time.
Great guy, and I believe Tex Schramm is dead right. Oh, a guy hits a beauty. Just what you want. It's high, and they got to it. Getting down there quickly, so it depends on whether or not they will allow it. Now, rule the touchback, but Bob Hudson was down there and almost saved it. Rule the touchback and brought out to the 20. John Madden was disappointed.
I thought Bob Hudson did save it, and a teammate made a mistake. Didn't you, Alex?
The ball up and threw it back in the end zone for crying out loud.
We'll be back in Oakland right after this.
The ABC Theater presentation, The Missiles of October, recreates the 13 days of the Cuban Missile Crisis, Wednesday night at 8, 7 Central.
A few moments ago, Bob Hudson racing downfield, touched the ball. At this point, into the end zone, a very close call, but I think a good one.
It was. Once he touched that white line, that was it.
Sharp eyes of our officials right here open. Cowboys begin from their own 20. Calvin Hill gets a couple of yards out to the 22-yard line, hit by Gerald Irons, number 86.
I don't think I've seen the Raiders this punchless. Oh, no. Last week, they did little or nothing against Kansas City. It was their defense that brought them a 7-6 victory. Maybe they're looking to Miami, but they shouldn't be at this point. They should be seeking to reacquire some offensive momentum.
Well, absolutely, and if they don't, then they're going to have some problems next week, I'll tell you.
Second down and 8. Golden Richards to the left, 83. Drew Pearson out to the right. Now Pearson motioning for 2. And flags fly, and I believe it was Otis. Otis Sistrunk.
Yes, it was Otis.
Who, by the way, is having just a sensational year, number 60.
He's been all over the ball. Of course, again, Otis doesn't know staccato either, Frank, and this is what bothered him. That and he went offside, no question about it. He may have been drawn off, folks.
That's the ball, and he was drawn off.
I knew Otis was clever.
He's playing with a bad shoulder, too, Alex, and they move what they do. You watch the Oakland Raiders, they move those interior linemen all over, and what they try and do is to get them against the weakest man they they can on the offensive line. And they move Otis Sistrunk.
And he keeps saying, are you weak? Are you weak?
Sometimes have a feeling they overdo that.
Rayfield Wright was the man guilty of drawing Sistrunk off. It's second down and 13. Calvin Hill pursued and hit by the two linebackers, Gerald Irons and Phil Vilipiano.
Well, you have to wonder what that fella's been thinking about all year. He jumped to the World Football League for Southern California's son. He has to be dubious now about whether or not there will be a Southern California son. Once the starting quarterback, acquired by way of trade from Buffalo, and once a full-fledged star, but now an effective third stringer behind the newly developed backup quarterback, Larry Lawrence. Can't have been a happy season for Darryl Lamont. Just a sidelight portrait of what can happen to a guy in football.
Well, they call him the Mad Bomber.
Third down and 15. Callback. Just short of his own 15-yard line. Going quickly out to Charlie Young. And Young upended by Gerald Irons, who's been in on a lot of defensive plays for Oakland.
Well, there's no question that Gerald Irons is doing a good job, and he's also keen, and that's what you have to do if you're a linebacker. You key on that backer because the back out with a little flare pass, and he's right there to meet him. Nice play, Gerald.
I'll tell you, Tony Klein came in and decked Staubach like you wouldn't believe. Roger got rid of the ball just in time, and then Tony really, Derek.
All right, Dwayne Carroll was kicking for the second time tonight. He had the last one run down his throat by this man, Ron Smith. It's it off. It'll be run back again. This is Smith. And Smith drives forward to the 40-yard line, a 13-yard return of a 36-yard punt. We have 10 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half from Oakland, California, and Dallas leads the Oakland Raiders 9-3. Back in Oakland, California, the Oakland Raiders with the first and 10. They trail the Dallas Cowboys 9-3. They will begin action from just inside the 40-yard line of the Cowboys. Marv Hubbard, 44, Clarence Davis, 28 of the setbacks, and this is a good look at Kenny Stabler, and this is a good look at Marv Hubbard. And Hubbard rambles for a first down inside the 30 to the 28. Be with us tomorrow for a top ABC Sports Special, 1974 USGA highlights. Our host, Chris Schenkel, will be focusing on the top 1974 USGA competition with the special look at such prestigious events as the U.S. Open, the U.S. Women's Open, and the U.S. Men's Amateur. Also, Chris will return to Wingfoot Golf Club, the site of the 74 Open, for a retrospective look. That's tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern and Pacific, 11 Central. And here comes Clarence Davis. Davis on first down. Spinning and twisting down to the 11-yard line.
And suddenly the Oakland Raiders offensive line is moving them out. The defensive line you're looking at is perhaps the Dallas defensive front four of the future as we look again at Clarence Davis from Frank's revered USC. A fine running back. After a quarter and an additional 5 minutes, Oakland has suddenly come up with 2 first-down bursts
And of
on
course,
the ground.
excuse me, Howard, of course, if you're a young line, you're going to do this. Now, you saw Harvey Martin go take a rounder on that time and look for the passing, and he didn't play the run at all. He just gave himself up, so to speak.
Hubbard on first and 10, and he gets maybe a yard. And that line that Howard spoke of is Harvey Martin, a second-year man. Jethro Pugh, he's been around a while, for 10 years, but he is a sturdy one. Bill Gregory, 77, he's been around for 4 years. And Ed Too Tall Jones, 72 is Jones, 77 is Gregory, 75 is Pugh, Martin is 79.
There's 2 guys that are uglier than I am, Howard.
That's arguable.
Second down, the ball is on the 9-yard line. And Stabler going for Brad. Cliff Harris was there for the deflection. Kenny Stabler, second American Football Conference ratings behind Cincinnati's Kenny Anderson coming into tonight's play.
I think that throw would have been out of the end zone anyway, Frank. There's a guy who's thrown 24 touchdown passes, tops in the entire league, and he didn't play last week against Kansas City, which certainly accounted to a major degree for their total absence of offense against Kansas City.
Pete Banaszak, you saw him huddle with head coach John Madden, has come into the lineup, perhaps with a suggestion or an order to Kenny Stabler. It's 3rd down and 8. Ball for 9, Stabler to the air. Did he get in bounds? He did.
Oh, what a
Red Biletnikoff. Red Biletnikoff beating Charlie Waters, and that's not anything really to be embarrassed about because Biletnikoff has been doing it for 10 years.
You know, Willie Shoemaker, as you look at the glee of John Madden, has a phrase for certain jocks whom he considers underrated. Of course, this is the field of thoroughbred where he calls them sneaky, the way suddenly they go past him. Biletnikoff has been sneaky for so many years, I can't remember.
Great receiver. And now George Blanda. Converts. And all of a sudden, the Oakland Raiders are out in front of the Dallas Cowboys 10-9. And we'll be back in Oakland, California, right after this message. With 8 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the first half, the Oakland Raiders have taken the lead for the Dallas Cowboys 10-9. George Cacavingo will kick off as we look at some of the lovely sights here in Oakland. George Cacavingo out of Syracuse and well-traveled with a lot of different teams. Deep, Dennis Morgan, 37. And he'll handle the ball at the 5. And Morgan, fine return, gets out to the 34-yard line before he's hit by Gary Weaver. A few moments ago, this occurred. It was a great catch. Howard, Alex,
Great
it was a great pass.
Great pass.
Watch Biletnikoff turn Waters around. And still Waters had good position. He was in the back of the end zone as a second defender, and it was just perfectly thrown and a great catch.
Of course, this happens so much. They go to Biletnikoff when they need him, you know. There's that beautiful catch.
And then Waters can't believe it because he was perfectly in position.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Dallas. Now, trailing by 1, they move from their own 34. Motion man, Robert Newhouse. Young gets the call, and a flag goes in the middle, as you saw, as Art Tom's was there to make the stop.
This call is against Dallas for holding, as you see on your screen.
Grabbing the pen.
What's interesting is getting back to the basics of the game. The last 2 series of downs that Dallas had the ball, suddenly they couldn't move it on the ground where they had been able to penetrate the Oakland defense easily in the early going. On the other side of the coin, as we mentioned, Oakland set up its touchdown pass that we just looked at in replay after 2 quick on-the-ground bursts for first downs, one by Marv Hubbard, one by Clarence Davis.
Brad Biletnikoff.
Looks traces of Pinocchio.
8:34 remaining in the first half. Tom Landry, the only coach the Cowboys have ever had, began back in 1960, looks on. Will miss the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. Drawback. Gets hit as he releases to Billy Joe Dupree. Did he trap it or did he catch it? Yes, he catches. First down. Out to the 38-yard line. The program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Right now, let's pause 5 seconds and allow our local stations to identify themselves. Frank Everett, along with Howard Cosell, Alex Karras. We watch the Oakland Raiders come back. The Oakland Raiders headed to the playoffs next week against the Miami Dolphins right here in Oakland. Lead now 10-9. Quite an offensive showing here in the first half. On second down and 6, Carmack. Screen play to Newhouse. Flag goes down again. Flag down at the line of scrimmage as Newhouse is nailed as he returns to the line of scrimmage by Art Tom.
And again, the call is against the Dallas Cowboys. In the meantime, meantime, Monday Night Football will exist this coming Monday night in the form of the Liberty Bowl game in Memphis, Tennessee. You'll see it right here on ABC. The Terrapins of Maryland against the Volunteers of Tennessee. Tennessee with an exciting quarterback, a scrambling quarterback, a great athlete, Unrich Holloway. And Maryland, of course, with Outland Trophy winner Randy White, outstanding lineman in the country. That's what the Outland Trophy is for. Randy is one of the 4 nominees for the famed Lombardi Trophy to be tendered at the Vince Lombardi annual dinner in honor of the late great coach. That'll happen January 16th in Houston, Texas. The Terrapins of Maryland against the Volunteers of Tennessee this Monday night. Bud Wilkinson and Bear Bryant, the guest coaches.
The call against Dallas, an eligible receiver downfield, 15-yard penalty. They move now from their own 23. Callback, going out to Charlie Young. Young slips, tries to regain his feet, but there to capture him is Gerald Irons. Gain of about 4.
Jim Otto. Old reliable. That was what Mel Allen once called Tommy Henrik, and it can certainly be applied to that fellow, Jim Otto, right
You
there.
know, Howard, too, he started every one of those 210 games. Not just played them. That's really amazing. There's a lot of things going on in the middle of that line. You run into a lot of Karrases and people like that.
Ah, well. Harris was in 5 Pro Bowl games. Incidentally, we'll be carrying the Pro Bowl game on a Monday night, January 20th, from the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. Gifford, on the other hand, played in 6 Pro Bowl games, was the MVP in the 59 one. He's one up on you, Alex.
Third down and 16. Oakland one up on Dallas. In the 9. And good defensive play out there by number 43, Nehemiah Wilson.
George Atkinson, Frank, if I may say.
Well, 43-48. George Atkinson with a good defensive maneuver. Take a look at Golden Richards. Drove the defender back as he should. The ball just a little slow, but good coverage by Atkinson. 4th down.
Well, now they're playing like the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to wonder if this is to finally be the year for John Madden and Al Davis.
Dwayne Carroll will punt. Ron Smith, the single safety. Ron Smith deals with the 44. Big opening. And Ron Smith having quite a night. Hit there by Ken Hutcherson. Interesting wide world coming up this weekend. Let's take a look at some of the happenings. It's the holiday season, and ABC's Wide World of Sports wants to celebrate that spirit by bringing you the Billy Smart Christmas Circus from Windsor, England, next Saturday. Clowns, jugglers, elephants, all the fun things. A special holiday show for the entire family that will also feature the International Professional Skiing Championships from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Be with us next Saturday at 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central Time on most of these ABC stations. Just a moment ago, a Ken Stabler pass intended for Cliff Branch missed in the end zone. Back there covering was Mel Renfro.
Also, Cliff Branch slipped, I think. And did we make note of the fact that the grass is very slippery tonight, Frank, as we look at it again? Yeah, there's Cliff.
I believe so, but I think he might have a little help slipping.
Yeah, he might have. True.
Mel Renfro playing on a bad ankle and covering one of the most deadly receivers in the game. Cliff Branch with 12 touchdown receptions. Now he comes out to get a little rest, and Frank Pitts, a 10-year veteran that's been around for a while, Kansas City and Cleveland. Now with Oakland, he's number 25. He's in the game. But this is Clarence Davis, trying the middle of the Dallas line.
If you wonder how a guy like Frank Pitts winds up with Oakland, and this is like so many other shrewd Al Davis acquisitions, and I say if you wonder why a guy like Frank Pitts, I say that because he's a player of obvious merit, seasoned, wise, and able. Well, he can get into trouble with his own club management. I suspect that because he was the player rep at Cleveland during the strike, this may have led to his departure from Cleveland.
3rd down and 5. Stabler. Linda Kaufman, another great move on Johnny Water. He turned Charlie Waters around again. And so far tonight, Politnikoff owns Charlie Waters. He's not a bad defensive cornerback.
Forgive me for laughing, Frank, but it's funny the way he does it to him, isn't it, Ali?
Absolutely.
Plays with him. It's the guy, and the pass is right in there on the button.
Fred Politnikoff, and he can really work over a defender. If you try to take him man for man, you're in a whole bunch of trouble.
Take the beard off, and there's a vague resemblance to Manny Fernandez, except that Fernandez's hair is dark and Freddie's is light.
5:39 remaining in the first half. Oakland leads 10-9. They have their first down at Dallas's 16-yard line. Marv Hubbard. And now Oakland is beginning to grind on the ground. Moving pretty much as they will, either through the air or the ground. Dave Edwards is in there. Drew Pearson recovered a Walt Garrison fumble to get the scoring underway this evening on the opening drive of the Cowboys. They led 7-0, and then George Bland hit on a 31-yard field goal to make it 7-3. Then there was a safety. And Dallas led 9-3 with Fred Politnikoff. Put Oakland ahead on a 9-yard touchdown pass from this man, Stabler. And then Branch.
Well, that play was obviously mistimed, Frank.
Obviously, Branch just back to the line of scrimmage. Well, I'll tell you, there's a bunch of yards, and they have come quickly with this man. He has recorded 6 9-1s while playing at the University of Colorado. Was the first high school sprinter in Texas to run a 9-3.
Notice how many of the Cliff Branch type are in the league. That's John Madden. Loosest guy I've ever seen as a coach. Says the Alex haven't run before. Cliff Branch, Mel Gray, Terry Metcalf, the new NFL.
Third down and 7. Stabler lofting it and almost picked off by Leroy Jordan. Stabler going for Clarence Davis and Leroy Jordan, the 12-year veteran from Alabama, back there defending.
Okay, here's Harvey Martin could do one good thing so far as a young defensive lineman. That's rush a passer. You see how he shucked in there and then got to the quarterback. Real good job. Harvey Martin, 79. He's going to be a good one. He is a good one, I should say.
Here he is, George Bland that trots out as a pass rush. His field goal attempt will be from 30 yards. And it's blocked. Blocked. And falling on the ball was Mel Renfro. Charlie Waters made a pass at it, missed. Mel Renfro went for it. And the Cowboys have turned back to a 3-point attempt by Oakland.
Well, in fairness to the Cowboys, as they trailed by only 1. 3 times in a row, Oakland began inside the 40. And only once did they connect. That was on the pass to Politnikoff for the touchdown. The 2 other times, Oakland could not get the ball in or between the uprights for either a touchdown or a field goal.
4 minutes, 7 seconds remain. We'll get official word, but it did appear as if Ed Too Tall Jones, who stands 6'9", they put him in the middle. There he is, big 72. He did.
Yeah, he did.
He's 6'9". He blocks it. Cowboys will begin operation from their own 8-yard line. Newhouse. And little 5'10" Newhouse finds a tiny hole, squirts ahead for about 3 yards.
Frank, I suspect that before this game is over, we're going to see some gimmickry from Landry, but also some new plays from John Madden for the Oakland Raiders. If only to, there's John, if only to steer Miami wrong if possible, because the Dolphins are certainly watching this game. Do you agree that's likely?
More than likely, they'd like to keep Miami looking at films this week. Of course, Miami will do the same thing tomorrow. Second down and 6. To Newhouse. Newhouse turning the corner. He gets out to the first down. Had good blockers out in front of him. 7-yard pickup of a little third-year man from Houston. Having a good year, over 473 yards coming into this game. Averaging over 4 yards. He isn't big, but he's really powerful. Gained almost 3,000 yards in his career at the University of Houston.
All right. Watch how Newhouse takes care of his offensive lineman. He tells him direction, puts his hand there on the midriff, and keeps moving.
Gets the first down, just short of the 20. Call back and looking. Going for Richards, and out of the hands of Skip Thomas. Skip Thomas had touchdown stripes running across his eyeballs because he might have been able to run down the sideline for the score. And he unhappy.
And Frank was ready to hear the Trojan victory song again because, of course, Skip Thomas went to USC.
Yes, he did. And he was a fine All-American defensive player there.
He really had that.
Sometimes the easiest ones are the most difficult. 2 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the half. We're going to do something unusual halftime, by the way. Yep, to kind of look ahead to the playoffs, possibilities for Super Bowl, and give you some, dispense whatever you might consider knowledge. It'll be fun. All right, second down and 10. The ball is at the 20. On the screen, and Young out to the 27-yard line. 7-yard pickup. Gerald Irons again on the stop. Clock ticking away. Down towards the 2-minute warning. Tommy Young, rookie out of North Carolina State. Really hasn't worked that much this year, but carried the ball 25 times coming into tonight's game for a 5.8 average. Good-looking prospect for Dallas. And there is the 2-minute warning. We'll be back at Oakland's Alameda County Coliseum right after this message.
Richie learns Fonzie's boast of a big family Christmas celebration on Exactly the Truth on Happy Days, Tuesday night at 8, 7 Central.
What's up, Raider Nation? Thank you for joining us on another Black Friday featuring the Silver and Black Theaters. Every Friday is Black Friday on Raider Reaction. Thank you for joining us. 1974, last game of the season. Saturday Night Football. Raiders hosting the Cowboys.
Tomorrow, ABC will take a look at the major postseason college bowl games on College Football Bowl Preview. We'll detail the upcoming bowl games, analyze the team's strengths and weaknesses, as well as make some predictions with our experts, Bud Wilkinson and the Duffer himself, Duffy Doherty. That's the College Football Bowl Preview tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern and Pacific, 11:30 Central Time on most of these ABC stations.
Before you do that, do it, Howard.
As Dwayne Carroll comes in to do the punting, he'll punt to Ron Smith, who is having a rather frantic night. He returned 1 for 53 yards. Does not have a whole lot of concern about his body because he really takes some chances. And this time, Carroll has been instructed, I know, to kick it away from Ron Smith. And in doing so, he comes up with a shorty. So Oakland will have good field position with 1:50 remaining in the first half. They lead 10-9, and they have 3 timeouts. Smith on returns of 53, 13 and 21 has led to, I'm sure, Coach Tom Landry telling Dwayne Carroll to kick it away from that cat.
Remember earlier in the game, Frank, when Alex was telling us how it feels to play in these games when you've been eliminated, like he said so many times with Detroit, a sense of utter despair, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oakland, it's kind of relaxing, though, I'll tell you.
At their 48-yard line. Offside, jumps back, and Stabler goes out to Melendikoff, who's having quite a night. This time he got off Charlie Waters and went to work on Mel Renfro.
I tell you, that was a dangerous pass.
You know, he's not getting the recognition this year he deserves, and mainly because of Cliff Branch. As you see, the Oakland Raiders with their hurry-up offense, but he came into tonight's game with 38 receptions. He has 4 on the night. That's 42 in the year, and he picked up 59 yards tonight with 1 touchdown. Stabler going quickly out again to Cliff Branch. And cannot hold on as Cornell Green was there.
He's trying to use the clock. He's got 1:17 left. He must think he's playing his classic game against Cincinnati all over again. That was one of the most incredible performances I think I've ever seen, Frank. And the folks will see Kenny Stabler at halftime, as he was when he drove the Raiders brilliantly to a come-from-behind victory in the waning seconds against the Bengals.
Of course, until Kenny Anderson broke his record this year, he had the best passing percentage in the history of this game for one single game. He goes again on second down as the flag flies. Ronnie Waters has Fred Biletnikoff to spring it away from him. And a flag is down, and I believe it's going to go against Oakland.
That's incredible. I don't agree with you really, Frank, about Cliff Branch perhaps causing a veil to some degree to be drawn over Biletnikoff. His value is so established.
Well, I didn't say a veil. I said he just has not got the recognition that I feel he should have, because he is the reason that Cliff Branch is covered single coverage many of the times, because people around the league are just really afraid of this man. And here's one of the reasons why. Riley Waters has not been out of position. He really is covering as close as you can. He did the same thing on the touchdown, and Biletnikoff, again with a fine-thrown football, was able to score.
Here's Harvey Martin again, doing a good job rushing.
Looking down at 20 from midfield. Manizak gets back almost to the original line of scrimmage. They'll mark it just inside the 41. Pursued, tackled by Dave Edwards.
And the viewers may have noted that Harvey Martin, number 79, was getting in on Biletnikoff again.
Oakland uses one of their timeouts. Liberty Bowl coming up. It'll be Maryland and Tennessee. Let's take a look.
This Monday night, ABC brings you top postseason college football bowl action. The Liberty Bowl from Memphis, Tennessee. The Maryland Terrapins, featuring Outland Trophy winner Randy White, the outstanding lineman of the country, meets the Volunteers of Tennessee, led by quarterback Conrad Holloway. Maryland, Tennessee, Monday night in the Liberty Bowl at 9 Eastern Time over most of these ABC stations.
That's Monday night, and along with Keith Jackson, Bear Bryant will be there, Bud Wilkinson. Good football game in the Liberty Bowl as Kenny Stabler comes over to have a conference with head coach John Madden. And you know, Howard, John Madden is one of the funniest guys. That he just, people who don't know him can realize this man has a terrific sense of humor.
He's a personality. What's amazing is that it hasn't been developed by us of the media over the course of the years. The guy is funny.
And with a tremendous record, of course. Third down and 11. Stabler gets a loose to Clarence Davis. He's trying to get the first down. I don't know. It'll depend on where they mark the ball.
He may be inches short. But Stabler called the timeout.
Inside 50 seconds remaining in the half. Oakland out in front of Dallas, 10-9, and we'll have a measurement. Liberty Ball we mentioned, of course, Monday night at 9 Eastern Time. Bear Bryant, Bud Wilkinson will be there. Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl coming up. Houston is there. They'll be going against North Carolina State. That's Monday, December the 23rd. Darrell Royal will be our guest coach there. We'll tell you more about the lineup of bowls here on ABC later on during the course of the evening. Right now, first down and 10 for Oakland. Stabler gets it away after a tremendous rush, finds the same receiver, Clarence Davis.
And that rush was again by 79, Harvey Martin. They simply have not been able to contain him. Let's look again.
Number 70, Henry Lawrence, is the right tackle on this play, and he's, of course, he's filling in for Don Vallow, who's been injured, and Harvey Martin is really eating them up right now at this time.
Oakland will use another timeout. You have one timeout remaining. And we're telling you about the Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl, Houston, going against North Carolina State. And that should be really a high-scoring football game. Two high-scoring offensive teams. And there's the Gator Bowl. And this is going to be a beauty. The Longhorns of Texas, with their strong running game, fullbacks Roosevelt Leach and Earl Campbell, go against Auburn, the Auburn Tigers, one of the nation's finest defensive teams. I guess coach there is going to be Frank Royals of Arkansas. Now that's Monday, December the 30th at 9 Eastern Time. Then the Sugar Bowl, Nebraska, with their super quarterback, David Hum, will go against Florida. And Florida, of course, with a wide-open wishbone offense. They have All-American linebacker Ralph Ortega. That's New Year's Eve at 8 Eastern. And our our guest coach there is going to be Barry Switzer from Oklahoma. Then, of course, the Hula Bowl live via satellite from Honolulu will take place Saturday, January the 4th, 4 Eastern Time, and our guest commentator there, well, I guess he could coach too. He could do everything else but the football, O.J. Simpson. Great lineup of bowl games.
I remember a bowl game over in Honolulu back in 1957. Featuring on the one side Frank Gifford, on the other Alex Garrett. An extraordinary occasion.
27 seconds remaining in the first half. One timeout for Oakland. Second down and 5. And going to Bob Moore. Complete for the first down, and Bill Renfro slipped. And he scrambled out of bounds, killing the clock, saving the one remaining timeout.
Renfro slipped, and Moore was surprised. He turned around, and there the ball was. Slightly underthrown, but he got it.
Good athlete, Bob Moore, fourth year out of Stanford, 29 receptions coming into tonight's game. He was the reason that Oakland was able to obtain Bubba Smith, their defensive end, number 77 from Baltimore a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
They traded a big tight end named
Raymond Chester.
I was going to say that. Raymond Chester.
Of Morgan State. What an athlete.
First and 10. Oakland grinding it out. Clock moving now with 20 seconds. They have one timeout remaining. Wide open on the line. Charlie Smith beating a linebacker. Dave Edwards.
That's why Kenny Smith has established himself this year as a truly remarkable quarterback. The way he's able to use that clock. The man is simply remarkable with either the sideline pass or, as in that case, using the back up the middle. What a player.
And the concern that the Oakland Raiders might be looking ahead to Miami has diminished somewhat.
A lot.
And the concern, I'm sure now, is being manifested down in Miami. As Don Shula and his Miami Dolphins, champions of the Western Division, look on. I'm sure they are. There's the conversion. Oakland has extended their lead over the Dallas Cowboys, 17-9. Charlie Smith, man that does a little bit of everything. He's sort of like a Jim Kick of Miami. Gets it all done. Good receiver, good runner. Here it is from the end zone. And Dave Edwards trying to cover him, just couldn't handle it.
There he is. Charlie Smith out of Utah, as versatile as Frank has indicated. Let's look at it again. That time he got all the protection he needed, Alex. There was no Harvey Martin around to kill him, and Charlie Smith just split that zone wide open. The so over-discussed zone defense in professional football.
That was a man-to-man.
Was it really?
Dave
You think
Edwards.
so?
Yes.
Yeah, the linebacker had to pick him up. That was a man-to-man coverage.
Okay.
Look at the way cocking that ball up there.
Jakovenko kicks off.
You need your contact lenses, Frank.
He has got a
He
little...
wore him for 7 hours yesterday. Hurt his eyes.
We'll look at it as Dennis Morgan would see it. You're looking at Bob Newhouse, and Jakovenko kicks it on the ground and is fielded there by Doug Dennison. Look at Dennison scramble out over the 40-yard line. So 9 seconds remain on the clock for the Dallas Cowboys. They trail the Oakland Raiders 17-9. There he is again, Charlie Smith. Done a lot of things for the Oakland Raiders over the years, last 4 years, and the last 7 years out of the University of Utah. Not fast, but he gets it done. 6 feet tall, 205 pounds.
Well, I'm getting ready for my stats, Frank, so I'm going to leave you right now. I'm getting ready, kid.
Where's everyone going? First and 10 for Dallas. All right, Charlie Young is one setback, number 30. Robert Newhouse, the other, number 44. Cowboys take over on their own 40. Staubach immediately goes back. There's a lot of running room if he wants to. And he runs right back into the arms of Tony Klein, number 84. Roger Staubach goes down right at the line of scrimmage. There's Tony Klein. On that very flexible defensive front four of the Oakland Raiders. 1 second. And clock will begin and run out on the half when the receivers get back from downfield. There it is. That is the end of the first half. So the Oakland Raiders have battled back. They have taken a 17-9 lead
All over the level. I guess.
We're back at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in Oakland, California. The Raiders leading at halftime over the Cowboys 17-9. 2 touchdown passes by the great one, Kenny Stabler, 1 to Biletnikoff and 1 to Charlie Smith. Halftime tonight is being brought to you by Gold Label Luxury Cigars. With Gold Label, you have 24-karat quality. Okay. We thank our friends of the General Cigar Company for having been with us all year, bringing you the halftime highlights. Naturally, tonight, a Saturday night, there will be no halftime highlights. Instead, as Frank told you during the second quarter play-by-play, something different. The three of us, Frank, Alex, and I, will pick our respective winners of the forthcoming Super Bowl. Each of us will name our top offensive and defensive player of the year. Then your disagreements with us can be dutifully registered by the influx of mail. Giff, how does that grab you?
That'd be pretty good. If I could, I'd just like to say thank you to a lot of football players who have made a great season for us, Alex and Howard. Congratulations to the guys who got into the playoffs, specifically maybe St. Louis. They've never been there before. Buffalo's never been there. Some of the other teams have been there, and, well, for what it's worth, we're going to give you some thoughts as to how we think it might all turn out. That's for what it's worth.
That's for what it's worth. Okay, my own view is that the winner of the Super Bowl will be the winner of the game to be played here next Saturday in the Oakland Coliseum between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. I respect Oakland. I think they're a superb football team. They've waited a long time for a Super Bowl victory. But I have to...
By the way, Howard, because we're not blocked out here in Oakland.
But I really have to pick the Miami Dolphins because they've been so great the past 2 years. Shula's held them together this year, and I've got to see them lose a showdown game to believe it.
Well, you're going to, Howard. Oakland is going to win it all. There's no question in my mind. And the reason I say that is because I think that the odds are definitely against Miami. I've never seen a team that can go on and win 3 in a row, and I don't think that Miami's going to do it. Secondly, I think they're going to play here in Oakland. They don't like to play on natural turf, and I think Kenny Stabler has really stabilized their ball club. So I think Oakland definitely will be in the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl.
Well, you may be exactly right, and I certainly share your enthusiasm for Kenny. But let's look at that Miami Dolphin football team that's been so great. There you see Bob Greasy, number 12, himself a polished and now veteran quarterback, back in the pocket. And he's got the receivers to throw to. In this case, who else but number 42, Paul Warfield, and he hardly needs description for any football fan in America. Then, too, of course, Greasy loves to go to his smaller size but remarkably good receiving tight end in clutch situations, number 88, Jack Mandich out of Michigan. And Jim Mandich, and there is a typical Mandich catch. And Greasy, if he has to, can scramble. Look at him avoid those would-be tacklers. Watch this. He'll move downfield, pick up decent yardage, and get out of bounds quickly to avoid possibility of injury. Does he have a running game? Well, number 39, Larry Zonka. Anybody who doesn't proclaim him one of the all-time great fullbacks simply has never followed the game. And, of course, there is Mercury Morris to give you both pass receiving and outside running strength. Number 22. They can put it all together. And look at the bench strength. Little butterball, Don Nottingham, picked up from Baltimore, and how he came through this year. Can they defense? Just watch this. Sacking Kenny Anderson of Cincinnati in a Monday night game earlier this year. Can they defense the run? Well, Doug Dressler of Cincinnati found out about that. This is a versatile team. And pass defense, watch this. It's been a trademark for the Miami Dolphins in their 2 previous Super Bowl years. That ball was picked off, my friends, by none other than Nick Bonaconning, number 85, against the Jets.
They're a great ball club, but their problem has been injuries, and that's the question mark.
But they've held together. Now I think we should consider your team, the Oakland Raiders.
I think the Oakland Raiders will show you that they're pretty versatile offensively and defensively.
All right.
No question about it.
This was the key game for the Oakland Raiders, the game I discussed earlier against Cincinnati. The clock showing 1:36 left. No timeouts left. And there was the pitch to Fred Biletnikoff, who has been so scintillating tonight as he's been chewing up Charlie Wolf. 1:32. That was the use of the sideline pass. But Biletnikoff did not stick just to the sideline pass. He had the intelligence to throw down the middle to his tight end, Bob Moore, number 88, out of Stanford. Quickly, Oakland got back into action, and once again, it was to Bob Moore throwing down the middle. And Moore now had them right in position to make the ultimate touchdown. But there was one more thing to do with 39 seconds showing on the clock. Find Mike Ciani. Use that sideline. Throw to the one out of Villanova. Mike got racked up on this play, was out for the rest of the season. But he capitalized, was only a yard or a yard and a half out, 13 seconds left, and Kenny Stabler in total command. Cincinnati seemingly helpless. The handoff to Charlie Smith, who just got a touchdown pass tonight. Charlie going wide, plunging in for the touchdown, and that was perhaps the biggest victory of the year for the Oakland Raiders. What a job that was.
And what a ball club, Howard.
Okay, we've got to find out who Frank Gifford likes. And you know something? I think you're going to be surprised at...
I can't wait for this one. This is terrific.
All right, let's go to the Golden Gifford. Your pick?
Well, it's kind of emotional, I guess, in a way, but it really isn't. I happen to think a great deal of a man named Arthur Rooney. He's never won anything with his Pittsburgh Steelers, a couple of divisions, but never the big one. But more than that, I think they have the best defensive team in football right at this moment. Of course, they have to get by Buffalo next Sunday, and that's going to be a little tough. But if they do, they might go all the way. Let's take a look at this defensive unit. They're really something else. L.C. Greenwood, Dwight White, Mean Joe Green, and a guy named Ernie Holmes, who just annihilates passing. Now, they have 52 sacks of the quarterback over the season. No one is even close to that. No one's within 10 or 15. I forget exactly what it is, but they are vicious. They have good linebackers, Jack Lambert, Andy Russell, and Jack Ham's having just a tremendous year. And they have Terry Bradshaw. All of a sudden, they've settled on as their quarterback. Bradshaw with a fine day today of the 27-3 win over Cincinnati. And Franco Harris, he's back to form. Of course, they were beaten by Oakland 17-0 earlier in the season, but then they had problems like a sore-legged Franco Harris who went over 1,000 yards today. And, of course, they were unsettled at their quarterback position. Now they are settled, and they can do many things. Terry Bradshaw can run, he can scramble around, and then he can deliver it when he has to. And, of course, if Bradshaw has his problems, was injured, as he was today, shaken up a little bit, they can bring on Jefferson Joe Gillum. Joe Gillum, who can fire it every bit as well, I think, as Joe Namath when he first came up. He's got a really strong arm, but more than anything, I think if, well, I don't mean to deprecate the Steelers' offense, but if they can hold it, then Pittsburgh can win it. Their defensive team can.
Especially if Art Rooney can play.
He's a wonderful man. I don't mean it strictly a man. I happen to believe that they have the strongest defensive team, and I happen to believe the defense wins in football.
Okay, the Giants proved that in all the Giffords years when he was on the offense.
They used to tell us, go out and hold it.
Let's quickly go then to our respective choices for top offensive and defensive player of the year. In my own case, the guy I pick as the offensive player of the year is the guy you've seen so much of tonight, Kenny Stabler of the Oakland Raiders. Here he is in still another situation. Notice the ease with which he can throw the big bomb to Cliff Branch, as in that case. Stabler has developed, it seems to me, almost extraordinarily. He is as calm back there as Namath was when Namath pulled the first Super Bowl upset. And my own choice for the best defensive player, or the defensive player of the year, is Tony Green, number 43, the free safety of the Buffalo Bills. He had 9 interceptions until injured just a few weeks back. He has quarterbacked that Buffalo defense all year long. Made critical interceptions like this one. Just watch that. In the end zone, then going all the way downfield for a touchdown. That was nullified on a penalty call anyway. What are your choices, Alex?
Well, I played it smart. I've combined one guy offensively and defensively.
Well, I think
Frank.
Well, I've got couple of guys that I think are really outstanding. I think one of you probably won't be a bit surprised by, and that would be Otis Armstrong of the Denver Broncos. Otis Armstrong gained only 90 yards last year, but this year he has really turned into the real heart and soul of the Denver Bronco football team. He's not big.
He's a great receiver, too.
Yes, he is. He's a fine receiver, but he goes about 195 pounds, about 5'10" or 11. Good acceleration, not blazing speed, out of the University of Colorado, or rather Purdue, where he set all kinds of records. But he has really given the Denver Broncos a running game and has added that extra dimension. They know they're never out of a game with this young man. He has a great future as, well, we mentioned Al Davis earlier, was telling us last night that he thought he perhaps was the best running back in the game today. And that might well be. He will lead the NFL. Here's my defensive choice.
Arrowhead.
They call him Arrowhead. They call him Bats. It's Ernie Holmes. And to me, he is the best of that Steeler front four, if there is a best. Mean Joe Green is there, L.C. Greenwood and Dwight White. But believe it or not, of their 52 sacks, Ernie Holmes has the most. He is really something special for that Steeler defense.
All right, you're on again, Alex.
Well, I combined, as I said, one guy for Offensive and Defensive Ball Player of the Year, and his name is Otis Sustrunk. Sustrunk, right. Sustrunk. And the reason I say that is because it's amazing what he's done, you know. He can do it all. And the great things about him is that Otis, who's a good-looking devil, along with his teammates, just kind of a warm kind of a person, can do so much on the football field. And he's always around the ball, always rushing the passer. He kind of likes to rush the passer, and there's an example right there. That's right. There he goes in again, doing what he likes to do. Takes the bones away from the quarterbacks. And, you know, when he's not playing defense, he can block like crazy, too. He's a great offensive blocker. Unfortunately, he was blocking his old man at that time. But so I think he's a great ball player. But seriously, I think the offensive ball player, as far as I'm concerned, is Terry Metcalf from the St. Louis Cardinals. He does everything. He's done a tremendous job. He's gone over 600 yards rushing. He's picked up 45 passes, and he runs the ball. He brings the ball back. He does everything, Howard.
Well, I tell you, they're all great players. Make your own pick. We'll be back in just a moment with a look at the game coming up. And, of course, at halftime, Oakland leading 17-9 over the Dallas Cowboys. Tonight's halftime has been brought to you by Gold Label Luxury Cigars. With Gold Label, you get 24-karat quality. Again, I want to thank the people of General Cigars for bringing to you the halftime highlights all year long. And the score right now, 17-9, Oakland against Dallas as we prepare to resume action in the second half. Dallas got off early, shot to a 7-0 lead. There you see the scoring summary on your screen. Oakland responded with a field goal. Then a safety in favor of Dallas when Ray Guy fumbled a snap from center in the end zone. Then the two touchdown passes, Stabler to Biletnikoff and Stabler to Charlie Smith. Now we're ready to go to the Giffer.
And we'll tell you that ABC's NFL Football, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Oakland Raiders is being brought to you by Gillette and the Cricket disposable butane lighter that lasts for months. Catch a cricket by Gillette. Roger Staubach on the sidelines. The Oakland Raiders back out onto the field. The Raiders with a 17-9 lead over the Dallas Cowboys. Final regular season game of the season. We'll be back. Back in Oakland, California, ready for the second half, two explosive football teams, the Dallas Cowboys and the Oakland Raiders. Efren Herrera will kick off, and he'll be kicking to a dangerous man, Ron Smith, number 27, and Harold Hart, number 34. The Raiders leading the Dallas Cowboys 17-9. Harold Hart from his own 7-yard line. And Hart hit hard by Billy Joe Dupree, bounces off, gets up to the 27 where it's marked. Very jazzy Oakland Raider band out here we've been listening to tonight. Celebrities roaming in the area. Marvin Gaye was here earlier. James Garner. Both us here in the Coliseum in the final night of the game season, regular season for these two teams. And Larry Lawrence, a much-traveled first-year quarterback, comes in For the Oakland Raiders, Larry Lawrence.
And he's not from the University of Southern California either, Frank.
No, he's from the University of Iowa. Played up
from
in
Iowa.
And quickly, Lawrence slips, but goes to the air, fires out to the flat, and caught out there by Banazan. Eddie Lewis was out there covering. Gained him about 3 yards. We'll tell you a little bit about Lawrence. He started last week and hurt his knee, and Darryl LaMonica had to come in and help him. But he didn't finish his career at Iowa. He went down to Miami, and for some reason took off from there. Played a couple of years up in Canada. He played at Edmonton. He played at Calgary, and then, well, he just kind of dropped out in 1972 and 73. And this year, during the players' strike, as he always does, Al Davis looked around for a quarterback. He found this young man, and he did a superb job in preseason. Second down now and 7. Charlie Smith gets just back to the line of scrimmage. Dave Edwards over there to make the stop. As you look at the offensive line, behind which Larry Lawrence will be operating. Jim Otto in his 210th consecutive start tonight. Henry Lawrence is the rookie on the right side, number 70, that's been having such a disastrous evening with Harvey Martin. Lawrence, the rookie from Florida A&M in that offensive line for Oakland. Third down and 8. Frank Pitts now in at one wide receiver, number 85. He's in there with Cliff Branch, 21. Lawrence, and I told you his knee was bothering him, and he just appeared to buckle right there. Larry Cole was pressuring, but not pressuring him enough, and Larry Lawrence went down just on his own. He hurt his knee last week, said he wouldn't give it a try tonight, and I think we may have seen the lesson.
Hey, look at that mustache. Joe Rudy to the left, Reggie Jackson to the right. Two of the World Series heroes. Reggie Jackson, who Charles Finley says he wants to trade. Let's bring him to the big town. Let him play with the Yankees or the Mets. What a player. I'm sorry, that was Rollie Fingers. That wasn't Joe Rudy with the handlebar mustache. The MVP of the World Series.
Well, this is Ray Guy, leading punter in the AFC. And he boots away. Taken there by Dennis Morgan. Morgan nailed as he goes to the 45-yard line. 41 yards on just Ray Guy's average. Dave Dalby was the man down there to make the stop. So the Dallas Cowboys with good field position. They trail 17-9. They opened up this game with a 7-0 lead, and then Blandy hit for a field goal to make it 7-3. Then Dallas got the safety. Ray Guy punting from his own end zone, bobbled the ball up, made it 9-3, and then Blitnikoff got a touchdown pass. That made it 10-9 Oakland, and then Kenny Stabler hit Charlie Smith from 15 yards out. That made it 17-9. That's where we are. Here's the third quarter. Staubach back and looking. Over the middle to Drew Pearson. Pearson spinning away from backdoors. He's at the 31. His first catch of the night. His 59th of the season.
Frank, I tell you, I like this Drew Pearson, and the reason I say that is because he really doesn't care about worrying about that linebacker when he's doing these short-looking patterns. Now, you can see him. He's coming right down. He doesn't care about that linebacker. He's looking for the ball, good concentration, and if he's going to get hit, he's going to catch that ball first. And, of course, he does a good job once he gets the ball, but he's got a lot of guts, Howard.
Drew Pearson, he's 6 yards short of the Dallas Cowboys record held by Frank Clark.
For a free agent from Tulsa with some pickup.
Indeed, Howard is just going to say that. He has really been a find for the Cowboys.
I wish Fingers would shave that mustache off. He said so. Said he'd do it.
First and 10. Cowboys at the Raiders' 30-yard line. Newhouse just getting back to the line of scrimmage. They may give him a yard. Dallas Cowboys with an 8-5 record. They could end up possibly in a tie if St. Louis and Washington were both to lose tomorrow night.
There he is.
But in any event, they would not be in the playoffs.
My offensive and defensive ball player. I'll tell you that right now. Look at him chewing gum.
That's one of those playoff spots not decided. The only one, as a matter of fact. Washington plays Chicago tomorrow in Washington. St. Louis plays the New York Giants. If they end up in a tie, St. Louis will win the division because they beat Washington twice. St. Louis loses, Washington wins. Washington will be the divisional champion, and they will face Minnesota. Staubach has Pearson in the inbound. It is not. Just delayed a little bit because Pearson had made a good move on Skip Thomas, was wide open.
He had, but the ball laid heavy in the air, as they say. Took a long, long time to get there, Kip.
Staubach realizes that. He knew he had him open. Let's take a look at Drew Pearson. He has some really tremendous moves. He has to respect his speed. Now look at him work on Thomas. Turns him right around. There he is open. But just timing was bad. Good call again by officials tonight. Referee Bob Frederick, captain of the officials team. Put it down now on 9. The ball inside the 30-yard line of Oakland. 11:10 remaining in the third quarter. Oakland leading 17-9. Ball back, and Robert Newhouse seated on apple box, and he might have had it. He's only 5'10", and it was overthrown.
5'10" in your program, 5'8" in life. Bob Lilly, the splendid veteran. Seems like the Dallas Cowboys and Bob Lilly are one and the same. His 196th consecutive game, as you see on the graphic.
Has a broken hand. Started tonight's game. I think they just want to do that out of respect. Says he'll play next year if they want him to. Efren Herrera will attempt a 46-yard field goal. Has not missed inside the 30. This is a little out of his range, and it won't even be close. So Dallas does not come up with the points in their first possession here in the second half. We'll be back in Oakland right after this. 10:59 remaining in the third quarter from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Alex Garris. Our final game of the regular season. We have one more coming up, of course, the Pro Bowl, January the 20th. Oakland leading the Cowboys 17-9. First and 10 from the 29-yard line. Charlie Smith struggles over the 30-yard line out to the 33, a gain of 4.
Howard, you know what I really like about Oakland, and I don't think I've discussed this with you, that the fact that when they're playing bad, they still win, and that, to me, is the sign of a great ball club. You know, I've seen them several times this year, and 3 or 4 of the times, they didn't look real red-hot, but yet they managed to win by a couple touchdowns.
What they did last week against Kansas City, and I think the same point was made by the announcers then, and it's a very good point.
Well, if I'd have known those announcers made that, I would have made that point.
Second down and 6. Banaszak, and Banaszak is into trouble over on the right side. In there was D.D. Lewis. He picked up a little help from Pat Toomey.
But when talking about the Raiders, you know, we've talked about Al Davis. Everybody in football knows he's one of the smartest men in the game, that he has been the long-term architect of this team's continuing excellence. Yet he's, you know, laden with the charge that they never win the big one. Well, this year with playoff game, there he is with Tex Ram before the game, the 2 men who run the front offices of the respective teams. Skip.
Third down and 4. Over the middle of Banaszak, he has the first down. He was pushed back by Cliff Harris, and Leroy Jordan, rather, and Cliff Harris pointing out that he did not make the first down, but his forward progress was up over the 40. He had to get to the 39. That's another gym kick type football player.
Yeah.
Charlie Smith can do a lot of things and do them well.
So can that Banaszak, and he's been around a long, long time. Point is, Davis prays that this is the year that once and for all he'll get rid of the charge he doesn't win the big one. Don Shula knows what that charge is. Once he faced it, and he's put it to rout.
First and 10, Mark Van Egan, the rookie from Colgate, is in now. One setback as Larry Lawrence runs, and, well, but he doesn't look all that bad as he gets the first down over midfield at the 49-yard line. Now, he is limping, but well, he's going to come off again, I do believe.
He looked like a speedy Joe Namath.
Mel Renfro made the stop. You know, he was quite a running back up in the Canadian Football League.
Larry Lawrence?
Yeah, he was. He came over 300 yards one year up there. Let's look at him again. Now, he has obviously trouble with that knee. Quite an individual. He took a couple of years off, roamed around the country, said he wanted to see what it looked like.
He's limping up there.
First and 10. Just short of the 48 of the Dallas Cowboys for the Oakland Raiders. Frank Pitts in motion. And running into all kinds of problems is number 23, Charlie Smith. He loses a yard. Moving Moving towards 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Well, I hope we do, when Dallas gets possession of the ball, get to see Clint Longley. I asked Clint Murkison, the owner of the Cowboys, last night what he was going to do with Longley. And looking back to last Monday's game when the Rams lost to the Redskins on a disputed fourth down call, he said, I'm going to trade him for the Rams kicker who turned passer.
Second down and 11. Mark Van Egan shattered all the full game rushing records of a year ago. He's hit by Leroy Jordan. And
well, there's the Mad Bomber, Darryl LaMonica. We may yet see him.
So that was long now. Yes, the veteran, Darryl LaMonica. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Right now, let's pause 5 seconds and allow our local stations to identify themselves. On third down and 7, Lawrence limping away from the center. Fires almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Leroy Jordan. That's 2 tonight that Leroy is almost at.
Look at Lawrence. He looks like Rollie Fingers.
There's the veteran middle linebacker, the former All-American from Alabama, so long ago that he could hardly remember. But he has had some great years. Perhaps his best was last year. Having another good one this year. You know, he's not big at all, Alex. 220 pounds.
That's not small.
Well, it depends on where you work.
That's true.
Fourth down, Ray Guy. Deep is Dennis Morgan. Oh, Guy really nailed this one. Tried to put too much on it, but he got it high and just could not quite get down fast enough to turn it around.
I wonder why he didn't pass.
Bob Hudson was racing down there, and he almost caught it on the fly. 6:58 remaining in the third quarter, and we'll be back in Oakland after this. Back in Oakland, California, Frank Gifford, along with Howard Cosell and Alex Karras, watching a very offensive-minded football game at the outset. The first half, however, it has slowed somewhat. Here as we have moved almost halfway through the third quarter. Dallas with the first and 10. Moving from their own 20, Robert Newhouse nailed for a 2-yard loss. Art Toms, number 80. Moving quickly along the line of scrimmage in pursuit, made the stop.
Frank, ABC Sports brought the public the top 8 rated sports program series last winter. They'll be returning next month with another outstanding schedule of the best in sports television. I'll pick up the beginning of this, fellas. You join me after the next play. The Pro Bowlers Tour premieres Saturday, January 4th. Will be in its 14th year. And then, of course, Sunday's Wide World of Sports, January 5th.
Hold on, guys. Bear with me. I have to adjust a minute.
And Art Tom got an ovation from the partisan Oakland Raider fans. He's played great football all year. And this one, intended for Bob Hayes, could have been picked off by Gerald Irons.
That's right.
Third down at 12.
Irons
Sorry about the
registered his
camera
own disgust
adjustment
with
there.
himself, but he didn't have good vision on the ball. January 5th, Frank, Sunday. Ali against Foreman. First time on home television. I'll be in the studio with Muhammad. I expect to have a lot of fun with that one, Alex.
Yeah, well, how about the American Sportsman? Premiere Sunday, January 5th. That'll be a good show. I've never been on that one.
The Superstars on that same Sunday, and that's a fun show.
You go horse hunting, Alex. Third down and 12. Ball at the 18. Back and looking. Billy Joe Dupree. And Dupree has the first down. He's at the 45. Hit there finally by Ron Smith, but he'll catch it in a crowd, and he has really come on, and this is second year. 42-yard touchdown pass last week against Cleveland. That one was good for 23 yards. Oh, and he is some receiver. 6'4", 230.
How about, excuse me, Howard, how about your magazine show? It's coming up pretty soon.
That'll be back. That'll be back in January.
John Fitzgerald, we're happy to tell you, who was hurt in the first quarter, got kneed in the head by his own man, Charlie Young, is back in the game, going all out at center, number 62. Cowboys move from their own 45, first and 10. Robert Newhouse fumble, and it's picked up by Villapiano. Bill Villapiano Johnny on the spot, as he always is. Comes up with the fumble. Returns it to the 28-yard line. Robert Newhouse lost it in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and Filipiano was alertly there.
Took a perfect bounce right into Phil's hands, but as Frank said, Filipiano has a way of being where the ball is. Let's look again. There, and right into Phil's hands. Of course, he's got good hands. Young man from Bowling Green.
Filipiano is a guy that I like to, they've talked about, he can't really defense against the run. He does everything well, and he's right by the ball all the time. I think he's a darn good football player.
Do you believe that George Blanda is quarterback? He is. He's 46 years old.
Throw a bomb, George.
He wants Bradford to the hell. I don't believe it. Holy cow. George Blanda, I believe his first offensive play of the year. Certainly has not thrown a pass all year.
Isn't that?
His first play is a touchdown
Did
pass.
you just see that shit?
46 years old. And look at him hugging.
Oh, they love him here in Oakland, I'll tell you that. They love him
Remember the
everywhere.
heroics of, what was it, 72 Howard? That he, 71, whatever it was, and he just had all those great
heroics
finishes.
every year. That's the problem there, Frank. Man is a remarkable fella. Just remarkable. And as enthusiastic as ever.
Kenny Stabler sets it up for Blanda's conversion. And this crowd is on his feet, giving George Blanda a standing ovation. His last touchdown pass was back in 1972. He did not throw a pass last year, and that's his first pass in 2 years, a touchdown pass to Cliff Branch. We'll be back in Oakland right after this. George Blanda has just hit Cliff Branch for a touchdown for Oakland. They lead the Dallas Cowboys 24-9. And this crowd is really happy for a great old-timer in his 25th year. No pro football player has ever played that long. George Jacobenko will kick deep. And indeed, he does kick it deep. Dennis Morgan takes it as his 3. Upended, sprawls out to the 30-yard line. A 27-yard return. Let's go back to a point in time a few moments ago.
Let me just ask you, here's a 46-year-old man from Oakland throwing a touchdown pass, and you're taking Miami in the Super Bowl game, Howard.
I'm beginning to worry about that a great deal. You may have latched on to the Oakland year. This is a superb football team. Look at this kid, Branch.
Lost in the shuffle. This is his 13th touchdown reception of the year.
What's your feeling about Pittsburgh, Giff? Unchanged?
Well, they might hustle them a little more quickly. First and 10. Dallas moving from the 30. Far back. Out to Drew Pearson. Is complete at the 47-yard line. First down, Dallas. Ronnie Johnson back there trying to cover, and Staubach very niftily lifted it right over his head.
Jeff Alex has just received a formal invitation to appear as a guest on the American Sports.
It better not be fishing for carp and Gary, I'll tell you.
I don't know what it's going to be, but it's not going to have anything to do with horses, Mongo. In the
That's
meantime,
not how you do it. I've never been on it either. I work there.
hey, fellas, ABC has a very important announcement to make. By way of the sports department, there'll be a press conference in New York Wednesday morning that I think will really excite the fans of America. That's all I can tell you now.
First and 10 for Dallas. They move from the 47-yard line, and this is Charlie Young. He gets 5 yards inside Oakland territory at the 48.
It's been a tough year for Roger Staubach. He wrote a book going into this season called First Down and Lifetime to Go. And he does have a good football life ahead of him, but this has been a most difficult year for him. His team having gotten off so badly and Roger having his ups and downs.
Dropped almost 10 percentage points from last year to this year. Second down and 5. Ball marked at Oakland 48. Staubach going for Charlie Young, and again he puts it behind Charlie Young. Charlie Young is going to think after tonight he's going to have to practice some circus sketches. Don't forget, Monday night, ABC will be in Memphis for the Liberty Bowl as we bring you the Maryland Terrapins, the Atlantic Coast Conference champions. And, of course, they have outstanding lineman Randy White. He won the Outlet Trophy. They go against Tennessee, and they have the really fine quarterback in Conridge Holloway. Exciting game. That's Maryland and Tennessee this Monday night in the Liberty Bowl, 9 Eastern time on most of these ABC stations. And there, of course, all Bear Bryant and Bud Wilkinson are coaching commentators. Third down now and 5. 3 wide receivers. Bob Hayes is in. The tight end. Billy Joe Dupree is out. Ball back, unloads one deep. Overthrowing Golden Richards.
I mean, he threw that ball.
Yeah, Golden Richards was flying down the field, too, and, of course, it was a little long.
Yeah, he hit one just like that last week against Cleveland. That ball was in the air 63 yards, according to Terry O'Neill, who never misses on such information.
Yeah, but you know what they say about statistics.
They come from Terry O'Neill, you can believe it. Dwayne Carroll to punt for Dallas. The Cowboys finding it very rough sledding against the Western Division champions of the AFC, and this man has made quite a contribution. Ron Smith. Carroll puts it way up in the air, and this one is going to go out of bounds out of the 1-yard line, a 47-yard punt, and Dwayne Carroll, I'm sure, didn't even dream that that's where it would wind up. Took a Cowboy bounce and out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
And you know, Frank, it's the holiday season, and ABC's Wide World of Sports wants to celebrate that spirit by bringing you the Billy Smart Christmas Circus from Windsor, England, next Saturday. Clowns, jugglers, elephants, all the fun, all the things that you really like. A special holiday show for the entire family, and will also feature the International Professional Skiing Championship from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. So be with us next Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, 4 o'clock Central Time on most of these ABC stations.
Beautifully done, Alex.
You better go back to hitting the horse. First and 10 for Oakland. They begin from their own 1. Larry Lawrence, a semi-rookie as the quarterback. Anazak bobbled the ball. Goes on, and they'll mark it for a gain of a couple out to the 3. And we have an injured Cowboy down in the field. Well, now it's Cornell Green getting to his feet. Well, what a great player he's been over the years. 13 of them. Came up as a free agent basketball player from Utah State.
Oh, what a basketball player, Frank. I was in Madison Square Garden the day he came in with Utah State. And his leaping ability and his grace was something to see. What a leaper he was, Alex. Really. He'd get up there like a guy 6'6".
Well, what's that? 6'6"? He can leap like a guy 6'6". Yeah, right. There's Freddie Bolitnikoff. I love him.
What did you call him, Pinocchio?
Pinocchio.
I can still see him signing during the Pro Football War.
Sure, he was the Detroit Lions' second draft choice. Of course, we didn't get him.
Al Davis signed him right on the playing field at the end of the Gator Bowl game.
Was that illegal at the time?
No, there was war. What are you talking?
Ball mark just short of the 3-yard line. Cornell Green was off to the sidelines. The Cowboys adjust their defensive unit. Charlie Waters goes to the strong safety spot. They're down to their last defensive man. Pete Manizak gets the call again on second down. Leroy Jordan moving over from his middle linebacking position to make the stop. Del Renfro is now at the right cornerback. Charlie Waters is playing one safety. Cliff Harris the other. And Mark Washington has come in. Mark Washington, number 46. He's at the left cornerback. Third down and 7. Ball at the 4-yard line. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Lawrence going to the air. Intercepted Leroy Jordan. Leroy Jordan back just to about the 1-foot line. Grand old middle linebacker with a 13-yard return of a Larry Lawrence interception. Leroy Jordan always with a sort of a knack to popping up where he shouldn't be if you're a quarterback.
Well, that was the second really bad throw by young Lawrence. The other one, oddly, was directed right to Leroy Jordan, but he dropped it. Look at this, Alex.
Yeah, he was was right. I mean, the guy should have never thrown the ball, and I'm sure that Lawrence's knee is hurting him, and I can't figure out why they wouldn't take him out and put LaMonica in the game.
Yeah, they're not going to use Bland again.
Good block by Charlie Waters ahead of Jordan. That's a stacked backfield that the Cowboys like to use down near the goal line. Doug Dennison gets the touchdown for Dallas. And here is a young man who gets his first touchdown. He's a rookie from Kutztown State. And Howard, I know you recall that game in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Doug was carrying the ball in, would have given Dallas commanding position against the Eagles, fumbled, and Joe Lavender, number 30, picked it up, scrambled all the way for a touchdown, playing with his spectacles on.
I don't know why I asked you if you'd remember. Do you remember how the weather was?
There's Johnny Madden. He told Jet 40 out
Was it raining that day, Howard?
As a matter of fact, it was a very, very pleasant night.
Efren Herrera. It's good, and Dallas draws closer. John Madden, not happy about that. Look once again. Doug Dennison takes a good shot from Connors, but gets in for the score. The 1976 Olympics will soon capture the attention of the entire world, and America's very finest athletes will be competing in the games as members of the U.S. Olympic team. Now here's how every American can help, and believe it, they should. Send $5 today to the U.S. Olympic Committee, Box 1976, Cathedral Station, Boston, Massachusetts, 02118. Appreciation you receive a colorful embroidered hat commemorating America's participation in the 76 Winter and Summer Olympics. Now that's $5 to the U.S. Olympic Committee, Box 1976, Cathedral Station, Boston, Massachusetts, 02118. And you can really help a great bunch of young men and women.
John Madden. I was saying, Frank, that before the game started, John Madden bumped into Chet Forney, our director, and told him that he had a surprise for us tonight to tell the guys in the booth. And Chet told us to look for something special. The surprise, of course, was the insertion of George Blanda for one play touchdown pass.
Efren Herrera. And it'll be taken by Harold Hart at the 10. Look out. He went out of bounds. Harold Hart almost broke it off, but they mark it at the 47-yard line. 27-yard return for Harold Hart.
I tell you, if you had to find players in a cave, Al Davis would find them. Harold Hart is 11th round draft. We spotted him in the preseason play when Oakland played San Francisco in one of our preseason games. It was altogether clear that this young man had every capacity to become a star. It's going to take a little time because of absence of opportunity, but he will. He's got the tools.
Yeah, I love this. They're leaving Blanda in. The crowd loves it. A lot of them on their feet. The hands on Cabanazak. And look at Cabanazak. He gets 8 yards. He's down to the 45.
Boy, that's something, the way that George parks that ball club when he comes in there. He's an old guy. You know the offensive linemen don't want anyone to get to George.
He's a picker, too. He knows how to call the plays. And John's a little irritated. He thought he had things sewed up with a 24-9 victory. He doesn't want to let it slip away in front of the home folks. The giveaway touchdown by Lawrence has created a little bit of caution on his part. Thus, Blanda's in there.
Second down and 2. Banazak gets the first down and 4. Inside the 40 of the Cowboys.
Boy, they're blocking right now, Howard. They're putting their heads down and going right through that line.
Well, let's take a look. Gene Upshaw, 63. George Beal is 64. Is there a better offensive guard tandem in the NFL, do you think, Frank?
Well, it's hard to pinpoint it right now, Howard. They're really good, and we've known that for a long time. They're very quick. I can't think of any offhand. If you will talk to me in the morning, I can work something out for you. Under 39. And gives the ball off to Johnny Smith. Smith has the first down. He's inside the 20, down to the 17, and 22-yard pickup. Hit by Charlie Waters, and Charlie Waters is having a busy night.
Alex, you're right. Something happens when Blanda gets in there.
Absolutely.
Can't hit the man who's 46.
I wonder what his pension's going to be. Ever think of that, Alex?
It's incalculable.
Number Number 64, George Beeler, is now limping off. One of the guards we were speaking of a moment ago. Dan Medlin has come in to replace him. Number 79, and John Madden. And that's what you hate to see late in the year, because you cannot activate players anymore. You have to go with what you have into the playoffs. First and 10 for Oakland. 17-yard line of Dallas. Landa got a tremendous rush as he pulled away from center and just got rid of the football to save the loss. Getting in there quickly was a safety blitz, Cornell Green. Clock stopped now with 7 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
You know something? You watch a play like that, and a 46-year-old man can get hurt. You have to wonder why LaMonica seems so completely ostracized. You know, Al?
I can understand it if they're paying him. Why don't they play him a little bit? On third down. Going for Cliff Branch, incomplete. Overthrown. Branch well covered there.
Well, an Oakland Raider.
Landa, old veteran, has thrown his 236th touchdown pass. He started that career back in 1949. Began with the Bears. Remember, I thought when I played against him as a rookie, I thought he was an old guy.
I've been trying to figure out his pension ever since you mentioned it. I wish I could reach Pension Planners of America who handle the fund. Zig Hyman, who runs it, might be able to give me the ready answer.
Third down and 10. I bet it's on its way. Landa and his receiver trips and falls in the end zone. And as the gun sounds, ending the first quarter, but Cliff Branch, trying to cut to the outside, slipped, went down, and Landa unloaded it. You heard the gun. That's the end of the first quarter. The Oakland Raiders out in front of the Dallas Cowboys, 24-16. We'll be back in just a moment.
The United Way. Thanks to you, it's working.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Darryl LaMonica, and he has to wonder what his future
Yeah,
is.
they played a one-legged quarterback tonight, a 46-year-old quarterback, and there is Darryl LaMonica. We gave a little portrait of him earlier. You got to wonder what he's thinking.
And here's the 46-year-old on fourth down, a 35-yard field goal attempt, and it's good. George Landa, tonight in Oakland, California.
Well, to get back one more time about Darryl LaMonica, I've seen the guy play football. He can play football, and my whole point is that if the man is going to get paid to play with Oakland, why in the heck would they use him? As we've talked about before, if they're not going to use him, then why would they keep him on the roster? That's what I don't understand.
He came in last week and worked against Kansas City. The Oakland Raiders won that 7-6. They won it on a touchdown pass, as a matter of fact, from LaMonica and Branch. Setting it up, George Jakovenko. Well, I'm getting it out every time. I think that'd be killing the Kansas City horse tonight. Deep, Dennis Morgan. Rookie from Western Illinois. Jakovenko actually started with the Cardinals in 71. He played out in 72, tried Kansas City. Finally wound up in Oakland. He doesn't kick it any further than that, he won't be here long. From the 10. Out to the 25. Morgan out to the 25. Cowboys now with a quarter. They have drawn within striking distance twice this evening, and Oakland comes right back. Raiders leading 27-16. The Cowboys took the initial lead, 7-0 touchdown when Walt Garrison fumbled in the end zone, and it was recovered by Drew Pearson. Finally had a field goal to make it 7-3.
John Madden is obviously relaxed. He just told us that he's playing Blanda to keep the older people glued to the screen.
On first down, Drew Pearson on the screen. Rayfield Wright with a big block out in front, and Pearson has the first down. He's over the 40 to the 42, hit by Kelvin Korver. Boy, you saw one of the great tackles in pro football, number 70, pull out from his tackle position, come out and really lay a block on the Oakland cornerback, Skip Thomas. First down now is marked at the 43. Drew Pearson with his 60th reception. 3 tonight, or rather 61st reception. 4 yards short of a Dallas Cowboy pass receiving record. Drawback. Flag flies, and it could be that Pearson was in motion, but this is Billy Joe Dupree. And Dupree is inside the 25 at the 23. And the flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Drew Pearson, I believe, coming in motion, had moved towards the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. There's the illegal procedure. 34-yard gain nullified.
It's a tough break. There's Clint Longley.
Hey, did he turn on America Thanksgiving Day?
He sure did.
Came into that game. He did a couple touchdowns, and he got the one to Billy Joe Dupree.
Yeah, I tell you, you look at Dupree and you think about all the great tight ends in the National Football League. They really have great people at that position. And I was astonished at our dinner conversation last night with Davis and Tram when Davis said, without question, Riley Odoms of Denver is the best tight end in football. Weren't you, Frank?
I was surprised Tram didn't hit him. First and 15. Big hole for Johnny Young. First down. Inside the 45 and the 43.
You know, we've talked about Longley's miracle of Thanksgiving Day. I really think we should take one last lingering look at it since this is the last regularly scheduled Monday Night Football on Saturday night. There it is.
I wonder if George Allen is watching.
Seconds left. Kenny Stone left behind. And our friend Drew Pearson in there for the score. And from a ground level camera,
Bill Youngster had to be asked to be drafted. Cincinnati had him, and they didn't think much of him. They let him go to Dallas. But he's still on the bench behind Roger Staubach. And Staubach on a first and 10. The 43. Goes to Billy Joe Dupree. This time a gain of 17, half of what they would have had a few moments ago without the motion penalty. But it's a first down at the 26.
Tell you this, if they pick up a touchdown, John Madden will stop giving messages to our man on the sidelines to send up here and concentrate on the game.
He'll be busy next Saturday. And Don Shula and his group, Greasy, Gazan, Mercury Morris, of course that great defensive unit, Yellow, they'll be here. On the first down. Staubach looking and just overthrows Drew Pearson. And he was wide open.
He sure was.
The problem with that long crossing pattern, you have to hold it, and you really get a little nervous back there with all the stomping and the roaring that's going on around you. Good protection, though, by the offensive line. Now look how long he has to wait. Here's Pearson finally breaking open. And was he open?
All alone.
Bob Hayes comes in. Replaces Golden Richards. Third down. Ball just inside the 26. 12 minutes, 20 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. Second down, rather. This time Staubach gets away. And firing again intended for Drew Pearson. Tremendous rush on Staubach. Monty Johnson coming in from his linebacking spot.
Good rush on this. The linebackers are blitzing on this one, and of course he gets away from it. He's good at that. He can scramble. And that ball could have been caught, and I think Marvin Gaye would have caught that. You know, when he practiced with us, he could catch those kind of patterns, but the only thing he didn't want to do is block. Marvin told me no blocking going on. He doesn't want to block anybody.
Marvin Gaye from Detroit, Michigan.
What a singer.
Okay, now it's third down. The ball at the 26. Dallas totally frustrated here in the second half. And great play, great catch, and J.M. Wilson is saying no, and Drew Pearson, I believe, is hurt.
It's a fierce tackle, really was.
J.M. Wilson really hit Drew Pearson.
He's got a knee. You won't find a better reception than this. This guy really catches this ball, I'll tell you. He goes up in the air.
He gets nailed just as he does, and you see the twist on that leg.
As he
Boy, you hate to see that.
Wilson grabbed the football from him.
He's got some great passes, Drew Pearson, this year. Just fantastic.
Oh, there you see the hyperextension, or at least it looked like that on the left knee.
Well,
there's
everybody's
Lamont.
been listening to us, Alex.
Well, he wasn't insured his arm for $1 million, so I guess, just think though, if his arm dies, how the rest of his body's going to live. Pretty good, huh? You didn't get that one, Frank.
No, I was
Frank
about Drew Pearson.
There's Marvin. He sang the national anthem tonight. I was in
Detroit,
tears.
right?
Just beautiful, yes. Oh, yeah. Marvelous singer.
Good to have you with us, Marvin.
Pretty good athlete. There's his son. A better athlete than Marvin already.
Meanwhile, Drew, the physicians have come out to attend to Drew Pearson. What a sensational year he's had. 62 receptions. And hopefully he's not too seriously injured. Great future for this youngster from Tulsa, now in only his second year. Signed as a free agent last year, and the Cowboys knew immediately they really had something. You know, all the Cowboys receivers are working in their third year. Billy Joe Dupree's in his second year, at least their front line receivers. Golden Richards is in his third year. First down. Dennison down the corner. Gets 5 yards. Moves inside the 10-yard line. Stays out of bounds there by Monty Johnson and George Atkinson.
Dennison's a good-looking rookie. Frank was just mentioning the relative youth of the receivers that Dallas has. People keep thinking of Dallas in the old terms and saying they've got the best personnel in football. I don't think that's true any longer, if it ever was. But what is true, that very quietly, Tom Landry and Tex Schramm are turning this team around. They're a transitional team with a lot of new faces and much younger than anybody gives them credit for being. That may be why they got off to the bad early start this year.
Second down, a long 4. Draw back. Under tremendous pressure, gets it off. Intended out there for Charlie Young, but Staubach really was pressured. Had to get rid of it. And the man who was applying the pressure, Monty Johnson again. You know, another thing about this Dallas team, they're 23, as you said, Howard, 23 of their 47-man roster have 3 years or less experience. You know, there's not one player on this Dallas football team that has ever played one play for any other NFL team. That's just rather amazing. They have built it themselves. Third down and 4. Oakland Raider fans, 50,000 plus, chanting defense. Staubach. Get it out there for Golden Richards, and he slipped.
You know, Howard, you're talking about Landry and the way he's replenishing his ball club gradually. Most coaches that come into the National Football League, they make drastic changes immediately. And consequently, when that happens, you have a very young ball club that's going to take 5 and 6 years to mature to become contenders. This guy gradually is bringing younger players along, still has a nucleus of old players, and I think it really is a good way to do it.
I think what you say used to be more true than it is now, Alex. It doesn't take 5 or 6 years any longer. Witness Don Coryell, witness John Ralston, witness Chuck Fairbanks. They've turned it around quickly. But Frank is right in the way they've laid a self-built, solid foundation.
Fourth down. The Dallas Cowboys will go for it. They will not go with the field goal. They trail 27-16. Staubach. A lot of time to get by the receiver. Almost picked off. Almost picked off by Ron Smith.
He was looking for that pass. He had it read. He wanted that football. He had it. Couldn't hold it.
The Oakland Raiders again turn back the Dallas Cowboys. And we'll be back in Oakland right after this message.
Hello. Need a gift idea or two? I've got just the thing.
Darryl LaMonica has come into the game for the Oakland Raiders. Darryl LaMonica, of course, for so many years, the #1 quarterback here with the Raiders in successful years. And then along came Kenny Stabler. And Kenny Stabler 2 years ago took over, and Darryl LaMonica was sort of drifted into obscurity, if you will, because Stabler was so sensational. Here's his counterpart of the Dallas Cowboys, Roger Staubach, not having what I know he would think would be the best of years. Certainly not, because for the first time in 9 years, the Cowboys will not be in the playoffs. Stabler hands off to Banaszak, and Banaszak finds the hole out to the 15-yard line. Gain of 6, and we second down and 4. Banaszak. And very reliable, as is Charlie Smith for these Oakland Raiders. They can carry with consistency, and now with Cliff Branch, the team with Fred Biletnikoff, Bob Moore at the tight end. Excellent set of speedy receivers. The fourth Oakland quarterback of the night. Banaszak gets the call again. Oakland going for ball control.
Exactly so. Like to run that clock down as quickly as possible and get to work early tomorrow, because they are going to work tomorrow on Miami.
Big day around the league tomorrow. Particularly big for Washington. They play the Bears. St. Louis will entertain the New York Giants. A win by both of those teams. St. Louis would win the Eastern Division of the NFC, having beaten Washington twice. If St. Louis should fall there, Washington could win with the win of Chicago. Then they would go on to face the Minnesota Vikings 1 week from today. On 3rd and 1. Fumble. Monica picks it up, and he'll be far short of the first down.
I like to see that. That's a country play.
Collared there by Cliff Harris. And the Raiders will have to give it back to the Dallas Cowboys. The clock moving at 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
You know, this is our last regular season game, but don't forget, fellas, we have another meeting. January 20th,
right,
Monday night, the Orange Bowl, a Pro Bowl game. Top players in the AFC going against the pride of the NFC.
Yeah, I should have been there many, many more times than 5.
It'll have a new look on that Monday night, and there's going to be a lot going, much more than usual, because many have called the game passé. Not so any longer, not with the AFC so dominant during the inter-conference battles this year. The NFC has something to prove.
Ray Guy. This will be Dennis Morgan. Ray Guy hit a beauty. Morgan bouncing around, looking, pecking here and there, gets out to the 49-yard line. 51-yard punt by Ray Guy, who's in quite a battle for the American Football Conference lead with Terrell Wilson of Kansas City. Wilson having a good day today. We'll be back right after this message. Well, you interpret it, Howard.
I have a massive disinterest.
Bob Moore's brother. 1st and 10. The ball at the 49 for the Cowboys. The game still within reach. They trail the Oakland Raiders 27-16. But the Raiders have been the dominant force here in the second half, both offensively and defensively. Roger Staubach going deep. Intended there for rookie Bill Houston. And
they're going to push. They're going to call pushing that.
They're going to call interference against Maya Wilson. There's the Maya. And he's got a little hand in there.
Around me. Yeah, he was
Honey, hold me tight. Cuddle up, cuddle up.
Maya Wilson, he's not very big, 165 pounds. Lost his job really this year to Skip Thomas, but then came back and took over when Willie Brown was hurt. There's the interference call. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. They're on the 11-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Charlie Young gets the call, and he collects a group of the front four of the Raiders.
And a couple of yards.
Corver.
You know, I've been out in California for 10 days. I'm tired, Howard. I'm going home. I'm going bananas.
You're going to Detroit.
Yeah, I'm freaking
The
out.
gift goes to St. Louis for an affair Monday night, which will be presented the annual Paul Christman Award to the most valuable member of the St. Louis Cardinals. TTVI, our affiliate channel, will be covering that proceeding.
Yeah, what a great year they did have, too.
What a great man Paul Christman was.
Right on 2nd down. Staubach still winging it, and this time, whoa!
How do you like that?
Richards caught the rebound from Maya Wilson.
Wilson's having all kinds of hard
Oh, he's
luck.
frustrated.
He had that ball picked off.
That's a very alert football player and a very good one is Golden Richards. Had 2 touchdowns last week. Should have had a third. Crossed his hands on a dead one over the middle. And here is Lamar Wilson. Look at Richards. He's right there. It's his first catch of the night.
Yeah, he went out. Another good call.
26th of the year, but he has converted 5 of them to touchdowns. There is possibility for a first down. And just a little short, as you can see. Look at it again, working man for man against Lamar Wilson. Wilson had it just pegged beautifully. Sometimes it doesn't always bounce your way.
It's been an odd ball game, a game in which Dallas still has a chance for victory, but a game in which...
A very good chance, I would say, at this point.
Well, one has to feel that Oakland was a little loose, a little careless, putting Larry Lawrence in there, leaving him in there. One has to feel that Oakland was the dominant team. There's Gene Upshaw, one of their dominant guys.
Is that his tongue hanging out of his mouth? No. Looks like an anteater.
He is. He's not feeling well. On third down. Dennison lunges forward, gets the touchdown, his second of the night. Doug Dennison, his second TD, and the Dallas Cowboys have moved within range. And Doug Dennison is congratulated by his teammates. Cowboys moving 51 yards in 3 plays. Big play, of course. A pass interference call against Lamar Wilson. That followed shortly thereafter by a deflection of a pass by Lamar Wilson. And a very alert Golden Richards was there. Efren Herrera for the conversion. And it's good. Oakland leading Dallas 27-23. And we'll be back right after this. Oakland Raiders, who led at one point 24-9 in the third quarter, maybe took the game just a little too casually from that point on, and all of a sudden they are in a little bit of trouble. And even though they have clinched their Western Division of the AFC, I know they would like to end up with that 12-2 record. Right now, Dallas has moved to within 4. Efren Herrera set to kick off. We watch from the end zone. Ron Smith is deep, 27, along with Harold Hart. Ron Smith at the 17. And Smith nailed as he gets out to the 29-yard line. Getting down there quickly, Jim Arneson. Daryl Monica moves back in for the Oakland Raiders as they'll attempt to get a little momentum back.
Well, they're not attempting to the extent that they would be if they sent Kenny Stabler back in there. So there's still a sense of security because the point differential is 4 rather than 3 where a field goal could tie it.
Frank Fitz goes out to the left. He's number 85. Fitz Francis, the other wide receiver. He's in close, top of your screen. Charlie Smith gets about 3 yards out to the 32-yard line. Get there by Leroy Jordan.
Dallas has been closing in against them on the rush. Oakland, as Frank mentioned earlier, wants to use ball control to run out the clock as quickly as possible. It's now at 7:45 and counting down.
Second down and 8. Ball up to 32. Daryl Monica. Been around for 12 years. Began his career in Buffalo. Came here in 1967. Hands off to Charlie Smith again. D.D. Lewis is there along with Leroy Jordan.
Well, clearly they're going to have to throw the ball if they want to keep possession of it. You've got a third and long situation. 8 to go. And Darryl, when he does throw it, has a propensity for herring play selection.
Before tonight's game, Darryl had only attempted 9 passes. You can put things so delicately.
If Alex Jr. is up, go to the dictionary now and find out what Howard just said, please.
Third down and 8. Out to the left comes Frank Fitz. Picked up there by Mel Renfro. And they remain in their tight formation. And they go with the run again. And this is Harold Hart. Turning the corner. It's Just a yard and a half. Flag goes down. I don't know whether it's for a foul or just to mark the position of the out of bounds. Harold Hart, 11th round draft pick out of Texas Southern.
I didn't know this about Ron Smith. He's from East Chicago, Indiana. You know, that's not too far from my hometown.
Flipping, personal foul against Oakland. Excuse me, Alex.
Well, they're going to have to kick now. Dallas will have good field position after this penalty is paced off. Unless Darrell connects with a big... Well, they're... Wait, yep, they're taking it. Sure, they'd take it, Frank. They'll get good field position now. Unless Darrell connects with a bomb.
Okay, there's 6 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Ray Guy comes out. Oakland now has been penalized 5 times for 107 yards.
No,
what are they doing? Please tell me what they're doing.
Well, they changed
they're
their
not
mind.
going to
They
take it
declined
because
to
they
force
want
him
the
to
fourth
kick.
down.
Yeah, to force him to kick.
Oh, that gets me nervous up here in the booth.
I don't think that's smart. I'd rather have the penalty paced off, put the pressure on LaMonica. Frank disagrees. That's, you know.
Well, they want to get the football as quickly as they can. Otherwise, they would have to contend with another play, even if they were to get it back.
Yeah, but there's 6:37 left, all the time in the world. Contend with another play?
I like the way I put it.
I like the way you put it, but I don't agree with it.
Ray Guy. Dennis Morgan is deep. And Cliff Harris chances it at the 30-yard line and nailed immediately. Wide World of Sports, award-winning show on ABC. It's the holiday season, and ABC's Wide World of Sports wants to celebrate their spirit by bringing you the Billy Smart Christmas Circus from Windsor, England, next Saturday. Clowns, jugglers, elephants, all the fun things. A special holiday show for the entire family that will also feature the International Professional Skiing Championships from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Be with us next Saturday at 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central Time on most of these ABC stations. The Dallas Cowboys trailing 27-23 with 6 minutes and 28 seconds on the clock. Take over first and 10. They move to 21. Staubach in trouble, but gets out. It finds Bill Houston wide open at the 40-yard line and knocked back to the 39-yard line. First down, Dallas, 18-yard pickup. Bill Houston, a rookie from Jackson State.
I'll tell you, this is incredible as we look at it again, Alex.
Yeah.
The Staubach is apparently completely gone.
He's a great athlete, though, and he can do a lot of things for you. And he's a dedicated ball player, and he keeps his ball club up. I don't care if they're winning 3 ball games a year, or 8 ball games a year, or 12. He's the guy who really is an inspiration of that ball club, without a question of doubt.
It's extraordinary the way he kept his balance.
Heisman Trophy winner his junior year. Not too many of them do that.
Archie Griffin.
That was Bill
I
Houston.
knew you'd say that.
4th reception of the night. Flags fly as Staubach tries to get rid of it. He is hit by Art. Arm is in motion, but again, flags down at the line of scrimmage. It did appear as if one of the Raiders had moved across the neutral zone. That's the call, offsides, Oakland. Now 5:35 showing on the clock. Cowboys with 3 timeouts remaining. It'll be first down and 5.
All the time in the world. Stabler usually only needs 1 minute 36 with no timeouts.
Howard, you know how many guys won the Heisman Trophy?
5. As a junior.
That's it. That's the last one I'm going to ask you. He's a real Univac, folks.
First and 5. Now back. Yeah. Under great pressure, not so much the pressure as it was he could not find a receiver that was open. Horace Jones finally rushed Staubach into giving us some kind of a delivery to avoid the loss.
Frank, Tony Klein does a good job on rushing this time. Of course, he knows, that they're going to have to throw the ball, so he's going to take a little outside rush. That's what he does. Number 84, Tony Klein. Staubach steps up in the middle of the pocket, which you have to do if you're a good quarterback. There's got the pressure in the middle, and he still gets the ball off. Not very good, but he still got the ball off.
Well, Horace Jones finally got to him.
Second down and 5. We're in the fourth quarter from Oakland, California. Dallas with an 8-5 record against Oakland 11-2 record. The Raiders leading Dallas 27-23. Bill Houston in motion. And the rookie from Jackson State takes the screen. Yes, a couple of yards, no more. It'll be third down and 4. And Gerald Irons moves over there to make a stop.
Well, I just can't believe that the season's almost over for us. You know that? I know you guys are going to be, just keep going. You guys are really busy. I'm going to take 2 weeks off, and I'm going to take another 2 weeks off, and I'm going to take another 2 weeks off.
Meanwhile, LaMonica had his first smile in months.
Just like when you were playing, Alex. I couldn't resist it.
I know.
Third down and 3.
We won't have Mongo to kick around anymore quite this year.
Back to the air on the third down. Billy Joe Dupree holds on the 40-yard line. First down, Dallas. 16-yard pickup. And Billy Joe Dupree is having a night.
He is. And John Madden's beginning to have second thoughts now about having perhaps been too cavalier in his approach to the game. I refer particularly to giveaway touchdown when Larry Lawrence was in on the damaged knee at quarterback and threw the interception that Jordan all but carried in for a score. Subsequently, Dennison took the ball in. There's John Madden.
Ball is at the 39 as Billy Joe Dupree catches his 4th pass of the night for 70 yards, his 29th of the season. Bill Houston in motion. Scotty Young turns the corner. Gerald Irons holds on, but Young gets about a 9-yard pickup, very close to another Dallas first down. This young rookie, second number 1 draft pick last year, is big, he's strong, he's 6'1", he's 210. And another Cowboy is shaken up. That's Ralph Neely, a 10-year veteran from Oklahoma. And a good friend.
It's Ralph Neely, isn't it? 73?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, University of Iowa.
Oklahoma.
Ralph Neely?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
He signed a couple of contracts, you remember?
Yeah, he was one of the early ones involved in litigation during the old pro football war, AFL, NFL.
We'll be back in just a moment.
And on the inside. At Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
3 minutes and 20 seconds. Second down and a yard. The Dallas Cowboys moving again and threatening. Roger Staubach looking for Houston over the middle. He has to underthrow it as Dan Connors had good position, number 55. Clock stops at 3:08. Staubach, a little over 53% this year, 11 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Had a big week last week against Cleveland. Got 3 touchdown passes. Really, the Cowboys, it's hard to explain this season. They lost 4 of their first 5 and then won 7 of their last 8. All right, now an important third down for Dallas. Less than a yard. Ball inside the 30. Dennison gets the first down, hurdling for the first down to the 27-yard line.
Clock is no problem at all here with Dallas now inside the Oakland 30 with 2:55 left, counting down. 2-minute break to come. No problem at all. A long view of the gridiron.
Program being brought to you especially exclusive of ABC's. All year.
What a way to go out.
Well, our local stations at least know to get ready. On 1st and 10. Again, the play action fake by Staubach. But this time, Tony Clyde nails Staubach all the way down to the 38-yard line. first time Staubach has been sacked tonight.
Yeah, you saw Tony Khan a little earlier in this program do the same thing. He does the same thing this time. This time he goes to the outside. Now there's a twist going on there. Now he goes to the inside, breaks loose, knocks Staubach down, along with a couple other fellas.
A social note, these guys wear mustaches on the Raiders like the A's in baseball.
Yeah.
It's the mark of an Oakland team.
Second down at 20. Clock moving towards the 2-minute warning. And Cowboys should have tried to get that play off. They could have used the 2-minute warning for another timeout. They have 3 remaining. And we'll be back in Oakland right after this message.
We showed Klein earlier. Here's Art Combs and that little trio, that little dance that they were doing. He's coming to the outside and putting a good pass rush on. They do that once in a while. They'll twist inside and outside, up and down. They're sneaky.
And that has put the Cowboys in a second down and 20 situation. They have 2 minutes to work with. They have 3 timeouts remaining. They are on the 38-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. They trail 27-23. Staubach slips, goes down, tries to get it off, and almost gets the completion. Tom Landry looking on. He has a young team. First time out of the playoffs in 9 years.
It's incredible. When we started Monday Night Football 5 years ago, Landry was wearing a $39 raincoat, and that's all he ever had on. Now he's become sartorially resplendent.
Especially on Monday night games.
On Saturday nights.
Yeah. John stays the same, doesn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't change. Now he can be out there in shirt sleeves in this weather.
He's getting the Abe Gibbon Award this year.
Clear down and 20. Cowboys will go, of course, on 4th down. They need it now, and bullet drill to Bill Houston behind him. He cannot hold on. And that brings up the 4th down. Let me try one more. This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Right now, let's pause 5 seconds and allow our local stations to identify themselves. Okay, 1:50 remaining in the football game from Oakland. The Raiders out in front of the Dallas Cowboys, 27-23. It's 4th down. 4th down and 20.
There he is. No, we don't know how much that pension is worth yet, George. Haven't gotten the figures.
You know, he's kicked 322 career field goals, 235 touchdown passes. And right now, the moment of truth, at least for this game, is on Roger Staubach on 4th down. He's up to run. He needs 20. He tries to get it. He'll be short. About a yard and a half short is Roger Staubach. And another Raider is down.
Yeah, and Staubach is slow getting up.
Horace Jones, the Raiders' fine defensive end, is down. Now he's up. Made a good effort against Roger Staubach, and the Raiders will take over. They have 1:36 to kill.
I tell you, with a minute 36 left of our regular season, I suppose it's time, Alex and Frank, to express our thanks to the fellas in the truck who've been so great all year long. Our producer, Don Ohlmeyer, our diminutive director, Chet Forty.
He's pretty tall. How about Rune Arledge?
Well, I don't know. Has he committed a jacket to you?
He told me he's going to get me one, so that's the reason I said Rune Arledge.
We will thank our executive producer, Rune Arledge, the president of ABC Sports.
On 1st and 10, LaMonica. Hands off, the Raiders working against time. Give the ball to Banaszak. And Dallas will take time out. He didn't say he was going to give you an ABC jacket. It could be a flip jacket or a straight jacket.
But Nick Nicolari has to navigate.
Nick Nicolari.
Got a lot of people working with us this evening. Our technical director has been Bill Morris, our associate director Dick Buffington, our assistant to the producer John Coulter, our engineering supervisor Dick Moran, our unit manager is Marshall Lopez.
And another
How about Rick Lasavita?
That's right. He's done some job for us all year long, and he deserves the highest kind of plug. And stats, of course, Terry O'Neill, a recent graduate of the Pulitzer Graduate School of Journalism at Columbia.
And how about the Greek? How about the Greek, Frank? Are you going to give it to me?
Bazika.
That's the boy, Frank.
Snowed in Canton, Ohio.
Canton, Ohio.
Second down and 8. Raiders running the clock out, looking for their 12-2 season.
You know, we gotta get a camera on.
Dallas kills it again.
Yeah. You know, we do have to get a camera on Marvin Gaye. Not on him so much as his son. He dresses better than I do, Frank. Can we get a camera on him?
In just a moment, because those are the camera people who do the work for ABC Sports. Technically, still unchallengeable in the industry.
Can you believe it? How old is he, Marvin? How old is he, Marvin? Marvin, how old is he? 9 years old. Can you believe that?
Well,
the guy dresses good.
Jack Hughes and the audio people just got their credits. There's our senior video and video people.
Third down and 6 for Oakland. The Dallas Cowboys down to 1 timeout. They stop it once more. They'll have no more timeouts remaining, but they will get the football.
They can make this
21 remaining in the game.
They can make that last 10 minutes. That, to me, is one of the weaknesses.
All right, Dallas looking to make it a 9-5 season. Out comes Ray Guy.
In this case, Dallas, of course, still could win the game. So there's justification.
Dennis Morgan dropping deep.
Dennis Morgan. That was
no,
a
that's not him, Alex.
Don't you go crazy, Alex, when a team trailing by 14 with less than 2 minutes left starts calling timeout.
Yeah, that's for sure. Dennis Morgan, didn't he sing, wasn't he in
Dennis Morgan
Desert Song? Desert Song, that's the song.
Dennis Morgan was a motion picture star
right,
in the 30s.
A singer.
A crooner.
Oh, there's a place beneath the sun for all. That was the song he sang.
Dennis Morgan, the 30-yard line, and decides to let it go, and probably a good move. But that is really going to hurt the Cowboys. The fair catch certainly was in order. 59-yard punt. So the Cowboys, with no timeouts, will begin from their 14-yard line. A lot of our fine people being recognized tonight as we recognize them throughout the year. The best of what they do. Of course, recognition for about 1,300 pro football players that travel around the country to watch play this year. They provided us with fairly some thrilling games. Okay, 1st and 10. Drawback will have to be concerned with out-of-bound plays, killing the clock when and if he can get the completion.
Well, all year long, Frank, you and I have been interviewing people. Let's wind it up with Alex Garris interviewing Marvin Gaye.
Well, I just want everyone to see Marvin Gaye's son. What's the son's name?
His name is Marvin, Alex.
Okay, all right. I know it.
What a road that you took, Howard. Jesus Christ. Frank, you're a great guy. Real gentleman.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Marvin.
Second down and 10. Clock shows 1:03. And in and out of the hands of Johnny Young. His third pass tonight has been behind him. Roger not having the best of nights. Great athlete. Really has been. Throughout the years, Heisman Award winner, of course, as a junior at Naval Academy.
Oh, my hair. I must get my hair fixed.
Third down, 59 seconds. Clock stop.
Well, it began with the Oakland Raiders. It began with that incredible last-second upset of the Raiders, 21-20 by the Buffalo Bills. Ferguson's pass to Ahmad Rashad doing it. And then there was the upset. As you look at another forlorn play, there was the upset of the Dallas Cowboys by the Philadelphia Eagles, 13-10. That was the beginning of the 5th year of Monday Night Football this year. sprinkled throughout a number of surprises. An utterly superb 28-24 Minnesota victory over the St. Louis Cardinals. We got to see Otis Armstrong at his very best against the Kansas City Chiefs, even though the Chiefs upset Denver that night. We saw last week the Washington Redskins win a game that clinched a playoff berth for them and caused Los Angeles to begin to worry all over again by the playoffs. It's been, in other words, a season like all of the other seasons, with a lot of excitement and with a lot of disappointments for teams and a lot of happiness for other teams.
First down, Bob Hayes. He has to get out of bounds to kill the clock. And he does not get out of bounds. Clock continues to move. The Cowboys hustling up to the line of scrimmage. You can believe the Raiders will take their time. If they take too much time, the referee will stop the clock himself. He's indicating, come on.
Motioning.
Clock's still moving. He can't stop it. Down to 25 seconds. Staubach, of course, having called 2 plays in the huddle. And this time, kills the clock with 14 seconds remaining.
Oh, the clock.
They caught the ball. They moved past the feet to Houston in front of the Raider bench, who did not see him dive and catch it. He'll never be able to get another one off. It's running out. Bill Houston with a diving catch. Tom Landry moving over to congratulate head coach John Madden. Once again, the final score, the Oakland Raiders 27, the Dallas Cowboys 43. This is Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Alex Karras saying so long from the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United, the airline of the pros. This year, 19 of the 26 NFL teams will enjoy the spirit of friendship service. The proceeding was a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
See the dramatic recreation of the 13 days when the world stood on the brink of nuclear destruction in the ABC Theater presentation of The Missiles of October, starring William Devane as John F. Kennedy, Martin Sheen as Robert Kennedy, Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, here on ABC.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Three Rivers, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela. They come together to form the Ohio. As you look now at downtown Pittsburgh, the Golden Triangle, and it's the site today of the Dallas Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a game that means so very much to both these football teams. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. What else do you have to say? This is a rematch of Super Bowl number 10.
And if either guy or anybody on the team didn't get taped up, it's their own fault. Now, both teams are very physical, Patrick, but the Steelers have had 21 fumbles and 17 interceptions, and that's a minus 13 takeaway type factor, and Dallas eats you up if you play that kind of football on a day like today.
This is the first time they've met since that Super Bowl of 2 years ago. They played in preseason, and Dallas shut out the Steelers 30-0. And it might have been preseason, but don't think that's not a memory.
And one of Bradshaw's greatest games was in the Super Bowl, and Lynn Swann was the MVP, and Lynn Swann is the Lynn Swann of 2 years ago. He's dynamite.
So health is not really a factor. Both teams are in pretty good shape. There are some injuries we'll tell you about in just a minute. But Efren Herrera has got the ball teed up at the 35. Obviously, Pittsburgh has won the toss. And Jim Smith is number 86. The rookie from Michigan, and back with him is number 85, Ernie Pugh. Alvin Maxson also back there for the Steelers, and that's Efren Herrera.
I'll tell you, he's a factor. He's hit 17 of 23 field goals, his last 6 in a row. And Pittsburgh, around here, they don't even let Jarrella kick field goals. He hadn't kicked one in 4 games or tried one.
Hasn't even tried one in 4 games, which is I don't know who keeps those records, but that's got to be one of the most amazing stats of all time. And here's Herrera. In the direction of Jim Smith from Michigan. At the 10, he takes it. And Smith has got some room on the outside and gets to the outside to about the 34 before he is stopped by one of those guys who always seems to be there, number 31 for Dallas, is Benny Barnes. The Steelers on offense and the Cowboys break on defense. That's the Pittsburgh backfield.
Bradshaw's playing his 6th game with a fractured left wrist, and he's got a pretty good cast on it. But he's throwing the ball well, and all the interceptions to these receivers are not Bradshaw's fault, obviously.
The Pittsburgh offensive line, Cole, Davis, Webster, Quack, and Larry Brown. They used to be a tight end. On first down now, Steelers have the ball at their own 33, and Bradshaw gives to Harris, and Franco slams outside the 35. Stopped by Jethro Pugh, but Franco Harris picked up about 4.
Picked up where he left off. I can't remember when he hasn't had 1,000 yards rushing. This year, if Franco stays at, what, a 63-yard average, he'll break 1,000 yards for the 6th straight year, which is an incredible mark.
Not too many folks have done that. He is 4th in the AFC in rushing at this point. He got 4. It is 2nd and 6, and they're looking at a Dallas 4-3. We'll set the deep ones for you in just a second. This is Rocky Flyer. D.D. Lewis and Bob Bruneck. 2 of the Cowboy linebackers converge on him.
This is the building that Art Rooney built here in Pittsburgh, and that defense, by the way, is Ed Jones, Jethro Pugh, Randy White, and Harvey Martin. Martin with 16 sacks, by the way. He's the right defensive end against Cobb, the big left tackle. That should be quite a battle on the line.
Always has been. Rocky Flyer lost a yard. 3rd and 7, make it, and Bradshaw's first pass perhaps coming up right here. And the Cowboys remember number 88, Lynn Swan. This is not a pass. Of course, it's Franco Harris, and it's not a first down. Charlie Waters made the tackle.
Darn, Franco hits the hole fast. I don't know why we're so impressed with that fact, but at 225 pounds and 6'3", he really hits the hole quicker than most big men. Maybe Jimmy Brown's the only other one I can think of that size that hits it faster.
Number 77 for the Cowboys was Bill Gregory, who had come in on that 3rd down situation, and Bobby Walden, number 39, is the Pittsburgh kicker, and he's been there almost as long as Art Rooney.
He's kicked 953 punts in this league.
Butch Johnson deep in single safety for the Cowboys, and here is Walden's punt. Trying to get out of bounds, not a very good punt. Bounces to Butch. Butch gets away from one, gets out to about the 27-yard line before he's stopped by number 66, Ted Peterson. And already some boos. And I'm assuming that's for Bobby Walden, the punter.
The kickers these days have a right to be paranoid. Everybody is really analyzing. Here's the offensive backfield. Roger Staubach having one of his greatest years, really, and he keeps adding those on. Dorsett in his first start. They're the receivers. Don't forget Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end. He's caught 3 TDs the last 3 games.
And that's the offensive line. Neely, Lawless, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, and Donovan. Roger Staubach, the quarterback, on first down to Tony Dorsett. Of course, as you would expect, a great local favorite here in Pittsburgh, Jack Ham, number 59, the linebacker who made the tackle. That's Roger Staubach.
Defensively, facing Roger in this offense, Steve Furness is now at left defensive end because Greenwood still has the knee problem. Joe Green, as always, in the middle, Ernie Holmes, and Dwight White. And remember, Dwight White had a pretty good sacking day when they played in Super Bowl X a couple of years ago.
I do remember. You saw that game here on CBS.
It's not operating correctly. Until it's corrected, the line judge on the field will keep the time.
Perhaps you heard that from Bob Frederick, who's the referee. The Pittsburgh defensive line, Tom Brookshire was just talking about. Furness, Green, Holmes, and White.
The linebackers. And Dirk Winston, the young rookie from Arkansas, at the middle spot in place of Lambert. He's going to be tested a lot.
The secondary, Thomas, Blunt, Allen, and Edwards, put together because of the injury to Donnie Shell. Dorsett and Newhouse, the running backs, on 2nd and 8. Staubach to Newhouse. Newhouse trying to cut back. A great play by number 59, Jack Ham.
Got a pretty good block on Furness at the defensive end, but the linebackers really covered for it. And Jack Ham is that too small size linebacker. I guess if he came out right now, you might not draft him. But he comes from Penn State, which must mean something. Watch the good block on Furness. He goes down. Watch Ham play off the block. Just gets enough to make the tackle, doesn't it?
Preston Pearson and Dorsett are the running backs for Dallas now, or the receivers for Dallas, if you'll make it, as the Cowboys go shotgun for the first time. Outside, Preston Pearson. And plenty enough for a Dallas first down, chased out of bounds by Warren Taves, number 51.
It does make it look easy. Now, don't ask me where Preston comes from. He's like the masked man that just comes riding through town. Watch him. He never looks like he's in a hurry. It's a straight drag-out pattern, which is an easy one for Roger to read. They handle, by the way, a Joe Green stunt coming up the middle in extremely good shape. Roger had a lot of time.
And, of course, Preston Pearson at one time played with the Steelers. He was picked up as one of the great acquisitions of all time, I suppose, in pro football by the Dallas Cowboys. They got him for $100. He's paid him back. Here is Newhouse breaking a couple of tackles and making what looked like nothing into about a 5-yard gain before he was stopped by Taves and Blunt.
Newhouse is so darn short, I don't believe Dwight White realized he had the ball carrier trapped. He came out of an armpit to make that. He's averaging 4 yards a shot.
His numbers on his jersey are so long they go down in his pants, or he's so short, whatever the case might be.
And, Pat, it's this shifting that the Dallas offense has always done up and down that might give the young middle linebacker a little bit of a recognition problem.
So it is a second down situation for the Cowboys as Newhouse shifts behind Staubach. 11 yards to go for that first down, and the draw play is Dorsett. He did not get back to the line of scrimmage, and a flag is down as well.
The old holding call. And it didn't fool Pittsburgh. Ernie Holmes really made a good play that time. Very strong inside. Oh, offsides, Pittsburgh.
The referee, as I mentioned a minute ago, is Bob Frederick, and he's the guy whose voice you'll hear in just a minute as he notifies us who committed the foul. The umpire is Lou Palazzi.
I hope he doesn't call Joe Green's number out.
He's mad about those guys in striped shirts. Here comes Bob Frederick.
Defense, right tackle offside. Second down.
No number, just the right tackle.
I'm not so sure it shouldn't be that way anyway. I don't like to identify the guys when they make a legitimate mistake trying to get a jump on the ball. I think we might do these players an injustice by knocking out their
I know who the right tackle is. Detroit defeated Tampa Bay 16-7. The Buccaneers now 24 losses in a row. And welcome to our broadcast here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the score is 0-0. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire's Dorsett squirts through for a first down for the Dallas Cowboys. And that's where he is so valuable. Jim Allen made the tackle.
I'll tell you, for a guy you think runs outside, he doesn't run that well outside. He runs inside. And he's tough and he's strong on the legs. He does all his moving inside the shoes. Very little extra work is needed.
You know, that's a great misconception, I think, that many fans have, that a guy, just because he's fast and just because he's quick doesn't mean that he necessarily runs outside well. Philadelphia 16, St. Louis 14. That's his third quarter score. We'll keep you posted. First down, Dallas. The ball at the Pittsburgh 41. Staubach drops. Can't throw. Ernie Holmes and the rest of the Steel Curtain converge on Roger Staubach.
All right, that's the 21st sack. Now watch Joe Green, number 75. He actually goes beyond the line of getting Roger Staubach. Now watching Rafferty, the young guard, is holding and everything. Joe Green is the one that forces Roger back up inside, and there's the locomotive. Another view of that. Watch this now. Watch number 75 take the young guard, who weighs about 252, and just shove him right on back through the pile. Hell of a play, I'll tell you that.
On second down now, and 17 yards to go. Staubach gives to Dorsett, and Tony picks up about 10. Tony Dungy made the tackle on Dorsett. He got back past the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Remember, they're doing this without Jack Lambert, and he's the holler guy that makes sure everybody's up on every play. And right now, Joe Green's having to assume that.
The guy in the middle who's taken Lambert's place is number 53, the rookie from Arkansas, Dirt Winston.
And he likes the nickname Dirt Winston, too.
Here he comes over to the sideline as you look at the Rivers outside this stadium. A super location in the first quarter. You're looking at the NFL on CBS. 0-0 between the Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. A rematch of the Super Bowl of 2 years ago in Miami when the Steelers won. Downtown Pittsburgh has undergone a great renovation in recent years, and Chuck Noll in recent years has done a great renovation job on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're two of the newest buildings and most established ones in the new Pittsburgh, right?
Joe Green, number 75, of course. Number 78 is Dwight White.
And Patrick, it was always a city where if you didn't want to come in and buckle on a helmet, don't come to play football. It's always been a work ethic football team. Tough.
I remember when we used to come here and played at old Forbes Field, and you wore your helmets at all times. But a great place to play. And of course, Art Rooney and Dan Rooney and the Rooney family have done a remarkable job in this city as well as with this football team. They are as much of an institution as the NFL itself. Third, and we'll make it 8 for the Dallas Cowboys first quarter.
And for you stat freaks, Tony Dorsett in 3 carries has 20 yards. It looks like he might be on the motorbike today.
Tony Dorsett and Preston Pearson both in the backfield now as Roger Staubach goes back in that familiar shotgun formation for Dallas. Dorsett stays in the block. Staubach throws to the outside. Senator Golden Richards. Broken up by Jimmy Allen. Number 45, normally a cornerback, now playing safety. Watch him work.
Boy, he has good speed. He has 4.4 speed for the 40, and watch the recovery he makes. Roger does not throw this ball extremely well. He sort of had to throw it over Furness's rush. And the ball was a little bit end over end. You could almost read Roselle's name on the side of it.
That, of course, the commissioner who signs every football. Danny White is number 11 with his back to you now on 4th and 8. The Cowboys have to punt. White standing at his own 45. They try to block it. They don't get it. White trying to go out of bounds. Jim Smith back there. And White did a pretty good job. Coming out outside the 10 to mark it down at the 13-yard line where the Steelers will take over. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited.
Good pass rush by Pittsburgh. Got the ball back for the offense, right?
Once upon a Brothers Graham. Wednesday at 8 p.m., 7 Central and Mountain Time here on CBS. And right now on CBS, the Steelers go into action against the Cowboy defensive unit. Rocky Blyer, wrapped up, I believe, by Randy White. From behind Bradshaw, look again.
All right, Bradshaw may not want to put it up early and have one of the turnovers that have been so darn costly this year. Gets pretty good blocking inside, but White comes over the top of a good block and gets help from Harvey Martin and company. And look at Waters up on the line of scrimmage. There he is, number 41. He cannot stay there on every play. He's got to do some guessing.
For 75 on Dallas defense is Jethro Pugh. 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8 for Bradshaw. Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer, the running backs. Franco outside the 20. Cliff Harris made the tackle.
Franco was coming downhill as soon as he took the handoff, and an extremely low, hard-running target. Brunig, of course, has sort of been nicked with injuries, the middle linebacker playing for Dallas. And remember, the Cleveland secondary tried to come up and support the defensive run, and Bradshaw threw Cleveland silly.
Those 49ers have won 4 in a row, shooting for 5, and they lead the Rams now 3-0. First quarter score on the West Coast. 3rd down here and 2. Bradshaw to Harris. Won't get it.
A flag down on the far side of the field, Patrick. Gets something on that line of scrimmage.
Harvey Martin made the tackle. The reaction of the crowd would tell you and tell us that the violation is against Dallas.
And so they're even on offsides 1-1. Here's Harvey Martin. 16 sacks for a guy that has the beautiful Harvey Martin radio program. That's hard to believe that he could just work a microphone sweet and easy, but he does.
Defense, offside, number 41. First down.
Charlie Waters is number 41. Your safety man offside.
Just your average safety man's offside, right?
You don't hear that one too much. So it's a Steeler first down, and Bradshaw being chased by Bruni. And still being chased. Fires up in the air, and it's knocked out of bounds in front of the Steeler bench. Stallworth was there, so was Benny Cunningham.
I think you said the magic words. Here's the pass rush. Martin stays outside. They had a stunt going anyway, so he had the outside angle. Bradshaw shouldn't have thrown it. Now watch Cunningham, the big tight end, keep this from being intercepted. Down the field, that is. Watch this now. He's 250 pounds of real meat on the hook. Now watch this tight end. He'll just go through and destroy the secondary that almost makes the interception. Throw it. Okay, Terry. He collapsed everybody right into the Steeler bench. Cunningham was a brute.
2nd and 10 situation for Bradshaw and the Steelers now. The Cowboys still line up in the irregular 4-3. No extra backs, no extra linebackers. Flag goes down. Blyer gets the carry. Randy White is the first guy to hit him.
I wonder if you can overstun a little bit against this kind of a rushing game with Blyer and Franco both such good inside runners. If you overstunt, you can make your defensive linemen give a lot of their ability up there, that balance system. Maybe that's going to happen.
Again, I believe the violation is against Dallas. And there he goes. Bob Frederick.
Defense, offside number 72, 2nd down.
Too Tall Jones is the guy who's offside. He is so big, he's offside when he comes into the stadium.
Well, he just put his hand down, and he's got a yard on you.
6'9", 265. 2nd and 5. Line of scrimmage is the Pittsburgh 32. No scores yet. Franco Harris. Outside the 35 to perhaps the 36, stopped by Cliff Harris.
Good block by Jim Clack, number 50. He turned outside on Harvey Martin, and pretty good hole. Again, if you stun a lot, watch to the right of your screen. Now watch number 50. Come over and keep Harvey Martin completely turned off the play, and Harvey was not down low enough to protect the inside.
Seven minutes exactly left to play in quarter number 1 at Three Rivers Stadium. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. 0-0 score as Rocky Blyer tries for the first down and is close. Harvey Martin stacked it up. We might have to measure this one.
Didn't get much. Franco has 20 yards now.
Franco is now the 13th leading career rusher of all time in this league. He just passed one of the toughest there ever was, Bill Brown of the Minnesota Vikings. Here's that play again.
Short yardage, and again, nothing fancy about Pittsburgh football or Dallas defense. Watch Rocky stick it in there. He's trying for it on second effort and might have had the whistle called in between. He cannot hear on those two plays.
First down Steelers nevertheless. Terry Bradshaw, the quarterback. Dallas flexes that defense. Franco Harris flexes straight ahead. And boy, he got nothing. Jethro Pugh made some strong play, led by the whole rest of that left side, including Too Tall Jones. The Baltimore Colts, the Jets, 26-6 in the third quarter at Shea Stadium.
Bradshaw wanting to be very careful. Again, Harris and Waters are both on the line of scrimmage a lot, but when you want to throw it, somehow they're back in those deep post zones where Lynn Swan and Stallworth like to run. He's got to be careful.
Bradshaw drops, here they come. Screen pass knocked away by Harvey Martin. I said they were at Shea Stadium. They are in Baltimore. I'm sorry.
I don't know if Harvey realized he could have caught that or not. He swatted it like a big bear trying to get a trout out of that stream. Watch this. It's a quick screen left, and Harvey Martin, they got a safety blitzed.
As Randy Hughes, it almost got to him.
Look at Harvey just swatted.
And so it'll be a third down situation, 9 to go. 5:39 left to play in the first quarter. No scores yet. The Steelers and the Cowboys. And Dallas drops back. No blitz this time. Bradshaw goes deep for Swan. Benny Barnes back there with good coverage. Oh, that looked like the Super Bowl again.
Well, I tell you, Barnes made an incredibly good play. The ball was thrown about as well as you can throw it. The only trouble was that the defender's arm got in between. Look at this pass blocking. I mean to tell you, a blue and white shirt doesn't get close. And nobody can flap throw it any better than the man you're seeing right now, number 12. Look at this. It's right on, and then it's off. dynamite play.
The other Dallas defender is Cliff Harris back there with him. Help from the free safety man. There's a lot of help. Bobby Walden as Butch Johnson at the 30-yard line signals for a fair catch. Dallas tried to block the punt, didn't get it, obviously. It'll be Cowboy first down at their own 30. No score. 5:25 left to play first quarter. It started to rain a little bit earlier in Pittsburgh, but that has gone.